Here we go. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the August 4th edition of the Crew Talk. And I hope everyone's having a good day, good night, evening, whatever time zone you're in. And as always, I'm your boy Nines, aka Eddie Nines. I am one of your co-hosts here. I am a admin for Twitch Crew. Over this way, we have Musashell, also a admin for Twitch Crew. Up this way, hopefully my directions are good. We've got Mars Echelon. Sorry, Train. I didn't mean to. Oh, that's awkward.
Yeah.
All right. So up these ways here, we've got two of our awesome mods for Twitch Crew. We've got Mars Echelon over here, and we have the debut of Train, the man, the Dane Train in the house. How's everyone doing tonight?
Good.
Fantastic.
Good. Awesome.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Fantastic. Rambo, there is no music for the intro. It's just quiet. It's just you and your thoughts looking at the Twitch Crew logo.
To prepare for us.
It's called Crew Meditation.
That's
That's
right.
what we do.
There we go.
Lay down heavy.
That's right. Focus it in, bring it in. Huggy Bear, how you doing? You're ringing over here. Thorhall, what's happening, man? Vincent Gearbat, hello. That's 3 hellos, so one of us doesn't get a hello. It's not me.
Probably me.
I got it's right here. So anyway, so yeah, so as usual, I'm going to kick things off with a little bit of gaming news here. I don't know if you guys knew this, but it's backlog week. Did you guys know that? Did anyone know that?
I did not.
Nope.
Yeah, probably because it's not really a thing, but that's okay. So
What is that?
it's backlog week, and all that means is like this is the week where a lot of video game websites are talking about your game backlogs, right? Like games that you haven't played, that you want to play, that you want to get around to. And I mean, I think this article I read was kind of in jest talking about like some ways to like work on your backlog. And I mean, none of these are serious, but it's like take stock of your Steam library, find games you don't play, organize your Steam library, and then hide your shame, which you can do right-click categories and hide this game from your library. And the last point was the best point is like just stop buying games on Steam. So
There we go.
Who wants to do that?
No.
Who wants to bring reason into this? Doesn't make any sense.
Actually, speaking of that, I almost went into the rabbit hole today. I went into the free-to-play games and the early access games on Steam, and I got about 2 pages in. It was like, nah, I can't do this. I have too many games on it.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm always gonna have a backlog. I'm 35 now, but when I'm 55, I probably still won't have finished Breath of the Wild, so it's fine. It's fine. I've made peace with it. It's gonna happen. But I mean, what are some games? Yeah, exactly. What are some games that you guys are like that's in a backlog that you're like, okay, I want to eventually get around to playing this game? Is there any games like that for you? Is every game like that for you? I mean, everyone's got that one.
While you guys are thinking, I'm just going to point out, Eddie, the layout is a little off-center there.
It's a bit wonky.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see it now. I see it. All right, ready?
Treen.
My
Fixed it.
current backlog is actually just replay throughs of my Final Fantasy 7 and 8 games.
Okay.
I started them and then lost my save, and it just destroyed my motivation to play them. So
That's always the worst.
No.
That is the worst. That's like
so it's
I
hard with
remember.
emulators, but
I remember back when I had an original PlayStation, and I was working through my first playthrough of Final Fantasy VII, and I had my cousin coming to town, and he wanted to play like Crash Bandicoot or something like that. It doesn't matter. The point is he saved over my game file, and I still don't forgive him to this day.
Oh no!
Still don't. I've since finished Final Fantasy VII, but it's like I don't think I got him a wedding gift because I was like I just sent a letter. It was like Final Fantasy VII. Is all it said in the letter, but
it's still not forgiven.
It's still not forgiven. But no, all right. One that's in my backlog that I'll never probably get around to playing because this is Twitch's fault and Twitch Crew's fault actually because I watch so many people in Twitch Crew stream it, and that's Far Cry 5. I'll probably never play that just because I've seen so many people play through it at so many different points. Like I know it's gonna happen, and it's like it's just sitting there. I shouldn't have bought it, but you know, it's fine.
I'm glad I didn't get into. I didn't keep my PlayStation V. I never went and got God of War because I feel the same way. I watched everybody play through it. I'm like,
yeah,
front to back. Like, are you serious?
Yeah, that's another one. That's definitely another one. Rambo says here, that's me, Castlevania Curse of Darkness, PlayStation 2. Go to the final boss before bed when I was a kid next morning. Sarah didn't erase my save file. Granted, he was 5. 5 is the age of reason.
Dang it, Ceridian.
Unforgivable.
He knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, mine is Final Fantasy
Savage.
12.
Oh yeah.
I got to some level with like electric spiders, and then my brother lost a memory card.
Man,
that's rough.
Man,
another one for me is, and it's not so much as it's Bloodborne, okay? Because I was playing Bloodborne, amazing game. It's a PlayStation exclusive, which is a whole other story why I'm not. That's one of the reasons I'm not getting back to playing it. But the other reason is because I got to the forest with the big ass spiders, and I was like, nope. I'm not gonna beat this part. It's just not gonna happen.
I'm done.
I had goosebumps the size of like quarters on my arms. I tried it like 3 or 4 times, and after the 5th high pitched scream, I was like, it's not happening. So I'm never gonna get around to beating that. So that's done. That's done. So yeah. So anyway, cool. That was a fun topic. So
I have a ton of games in my backlog that I don't know if I'll ever get to or not. It's one of those things I'm like, oh, this looks like a cool game. So I buy it, and then I never get to do it.
Yeah. Well, and the thing, too, is... No, go ahead, Trey, please.
Oh, I was going to say, have you guys ever heard of the Heroes of Might and Magic series?
No.
Okay, they're like real-time strategy games. They're pretty old. I don't even know when the newest one came out, but I played through the first 4, and I got 5, and there's like some expansions to 5, and I have them on Steam, just sitting in Steam. So I think that might be... Now that we're talking about backlog games, I'm like, oh man, I do have that one, and it has expansions. I need to get through that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like Muse. I have a whole list of games that I like own, just have never opened. Yeah.
Not even installed. Yeah.
See, yeah, I had oh god, was it Dragon Age Inquisition? Was that the latest Dragon Age?
Oh yeah. Dragon
Bought
Age.
it, was in the wrapper. I literally turned around and sold it back to GameStop without even taking the shrink wrack off. So I'm like, it's not gonna happen. I'm just not getting around to playing it. So
Huggy made a good point. To avoid a backlog is just buy one game, play it, then buy the next one.
That's true, but I mean,
but
there you go, Huggy. Why are you bringing reason into this argument, Huggy? I don't appreciate it.
I'm a glutton. I'm greedy as hell. If I was playing Fortnite, I'd be thirsting everybody. And, it's just
right?
that's who I mean,
there's a little bit of like, for me, it's like when a game goes on sale, I'm like, I gotta get it now because it's never gonna go on sale again ever, right? Because that happens, right? Like, I mean, never mind that, like. That just got proven false because I wanted to get No Man's Sky when it was on sale on Steam. I missed that. And then Green Man Game had it for sale this week, literally the following week. So you don't always have to buy that game. Chances are it's going to go on sale again.
Mine's Tarkov right now. I have a bunch of people telling me to get Escape from Tarkov.
Oh, yeah, it's on sale right now.
I'm like, it's a $150 game. And someone's like, yeah, but it's on sale. And then they're like, but you can get the base game night because you pay for a bigger, like, locker stash.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're like, just get the basic one, and then when you fill that up, get the next level, and then when you fill that up, get the next level. And I was like, I'm greedy. I want it all. If I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna go in. I want to get everything.
Yeah. And just real quick here, hi, Lion Roscoe, what's happening? Slot, yes, I am evil and I hate spiders. When spiders try to take over the world one day, you guys are all gonna look at me like I was right, so it's fine. Cool guy, what's up? Jono, Luchamite. What's up, people? Thanks for joining. Join. Love you all. Love all your faces. So, okay, cool. So, moving on here. Real quick, just a little blurb here. Capcom's looking to do more remakes after the Resident Evil 2 comes out later this year. Really excited about that. On one hand, it's kind of like a cash grab, but I mean, at the same time, Capcom's made some really awesome games in the past, and I'm not upset at that. So, all right, so moving on. You guys aren't going to believe this. I'm going to talk about Sony right now, and not in a bad way necessarily. So,
see you in 5 hours.
So they are running a double discount flash sale. Okay, so this goes to show I can be partial. All right. It runs till August 7th. 255 games are on sale. It's called a double discount sale because there's a first discount, and if you have PlayStation Plus, there's another discount as well. For instance, Detroit Becoming Humans, 34% off right now for $40. The Hitman Game of the Year Edition, $30. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, $17.99. So there are some good titles out there. If you're a horrible person and play a PlayStation 4, help
Run
yourself.
Up that backlog.
Yeah, that's right.
Run up that backlog.
Exactly. Get that backlog stacked to the sky, baby. Okay. All right. So, moving on. So Life is Strange teaser trailer dropped. It's kind of weird because it was a teaser trailer that's teasing another reveal on August 20th. That's kind of the first time I've seen anything like that. I know there's some people in the community that were into Life is Strange. I think Captain what the hell was it called? There was like an offshoot to Life is Strange, the one with the kid.
Captain Spirit one.
Yeah, Captain Spirit. So I guess the game actually comes out September 27th. The trailer follows some dash cam footage of a young police officer responding to a 1010, which is a fight in progress, and that's kind of all the trailer entails. But it does look pretty interesting. I resent that, Eddie. Well, that's all right, Jono. I think I can live with that. I think I will live with that, Jono. It's fine. Spyro Reignited trilogy comes out September 21st for all the Spyro the Dragon fans. Contains that's going to be pretty cool. It's going to have all 3 games: Spyro the Dragon, Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage, and Spyro 3 Year of the Dragon. Interesting thing about that though is only the first game is on a disc. The other 2 are downloads, which is weird. I mean, it's not like those take up a lot of space. Why don't you just put them all on the disc? But whatever. I'm sure they have a reason for doing that. I just don't know what it is.
I'm sure. Is there a digital version coming out for the first game too?
No. Well,
the option.
Well, yeah. I'm sure there's probably in this day and age there's probably a digital version for it too. Train. Yeah. I just know that you can get it you can get it in the physical sense, but it's only the first game and and you get download codes for the other 2. So. I don't know. It's really weird because you could easily squeeze all 3 of those games on one PlayStation 4 disc. I mean, that's plenty of space, but whatever. All right. Moving on. So, Fortnite version 5.10 is out. They brought the guided missile back. There is a fly explosives mode. Everyone gets a jetpack. All the weapons are explosive. It's one of the limited time modes. Haven't played that. I know Measy. I think you played a little bit of that. It sounds like it's fun.
It got exploded quickly.
Yeah. Sounds like something I think is going to be fun, and then 5 minutes in, I'm going to be like, I hate this. So, that's usually what happens with those LTMs with like Fortnite. It's like, oh, sniper mode. This is awesome. I'm like, 5 minutes in, it's like I'm baggy and I want to uninstall. So, yeah. And then the save the world mode gets a spyglass sniper rifle, which is kind of cool. But all right. So next here we're going to talk about GameStop. Does anyone even still shop at GameStop anymore?
No.
Is that ever since I made the move to DC?
I'll stop in if I'm in the mall and the one there and see what pops they have, and then I'm out.
Yeah, I was gonna say I go for their nerd swag, the pops, because you have a good selection of pops. Or if I want to last time I went there, I'd sold some games back and I put the money towards a Steam card to use on my PC. That's usually all I use GameStop for. But they are around. I mean, it's their primary console gaming. That's their thing. They are getting rid of their highest tier of their Power Up rewards program, the Elite Pro tier. Basically, it was $30 a year, and it had a automatic 20% discount on used games and accessories and tech, which is actually pretty cool. You got 30 reward points for every dollar that you spent. So they are doing away with that. You had a chance to purchase it on July 31st for the last year. So it's too late if you haven't already gotten it. So probably should have took that out of the list. But anyway, so
good to know that was a thing.
Yeah. So a couple last couple things here. This will probably get your attention here, Mars. The Walking Dead final season by Telltale Games launches August 14th. Brings a close to Clementine's saga. It's gonna introduce some open-ended combat for once. Anyone who's played Telltale Games, the combat's kind of it's like Telegraph for the most part. So that's interesting. I haven't played that in a while, but I have played the Batman Telltale series game, which are also really good. And the cool thing about this is that, because I mean the first one came out in 2012, right? So it came out forever ago. So Telltale is introducing this web-based tool that essentially, if you don't have any previous game saves, it will allow you to map out the major events in the story leading up to that point. So basically, if you've never played the previous ones, you can still and it's not everything you do, right? Because you make a lot of decisions in the game, right, Mars, that can affect.
There's a couple of things that'll really carry over into the next one, but not anything super pertinent to the story.
Right.
I think it'd be great. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So basically this web tool will allow you to, the major story forks in the game, they'll allow you to make a decision. So when you play the final season, you'll get a cloud save that you can import to the platform of choice. Keep in mind that, PlayStation and Xbox don't cross over, but if you're on PC, you're fine. And then that way you'll be able to play that final season out and still have some of those decisions picked out. I thought that was kind of cool. So, all right. So last thing here, and I thought this was pretty funny, just because I was like, this is the world we live in now. So I don't know if you guys have heard about this. So there's some Fortnite lessons going on. So literally, these are parents that are paying for Fortnite lessons for their kids. But it's not just for their kids. It's also for the parents. Okay? Like literally they're paying people to teach them how to be good at Fortnite. Yes, you heard me right. They are paying people to help them be good at Fortnite.
So not only did I hear that they're paying to help them learn how to play Fortnite, I heard that they're actually paying to help them deal with internet trolls, like bullies
really?
on Fortnite. Because so like, okay, think about this. When we were growing up, it would be like, oh, you suck at soccer, we're gonna make fun of you. You can't play sports, right? For all the kids that couldn't play sports.
Right.
Well, like Fortnite is the new sport for kids these days. They don't go out and play sports. They sit in their room and play Fortnite. So there's kids, like a lot of the coaching is also like personal coaching how to deal with not being good at Fortnite.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are they qualified for this though?
Same thing as a life coach maybe. Like,
Geez.
Like there's no real credentials to being a life coach. It's just you gotta help motivate people type of thing.
That's right. You gotta be able to help.
You
motivate
build those
people
walls. You
right.
you climb up on that person. It's fine.
Right.
Plus
You
strats,
throw
you
Do
build
whatever you do.
Boogie bomb.
bullets come to build walls.
So the one example this article had, it was this one parent. He spent $45 on 3 1-hour lessons. Okay, if you do the math on it, that's $15 a lesson. All right, for him and his son. And this is a quote: "Within 1 week, I actually got a solo win." And then he goes on to say, "The other dads I play with congratulated me. I earned a little credibility with my son and his friends, and my wife and daughter made fun of me."
See what I'm saying?
So that sounds
But you
about
got
right.
brownie points with the kids.
As
That's all
they
that
should.
matters.
Listen, if you want your kid to like love and respect you, just like wrap your arm around them, say I love you, son, or go get ice cream or ask how your kid's day is.
I love you, non-existent child.
These are parenting lessons from your boy Eddie Nines. So I guarantee you that kids' friends are also making fun of him. Like, bro, your dad paid for Fortnite lessons, but whatever. I mean, do you guys think this is like gonna be a thing that like continues to happen? Like,
oh yeah.
I mean,
So
I kind of feel like
stupid,
it's the
sorry.
beginning of a trend, just because like I feel like in this day and age, parents are like so desperate to find ways to connect with their kids, and if you're not a video game player, then it's like you're gonna go out of your way to do things like this to like. Vault says $45 well spent. But who goes outside to get ice cream? People do, Rambo. People do. I do. I just did the other day. It was
We
delicious.
still have ice cream trucks.
I mean,
that
we could
through
go
my
get ice
neighborhood,
cream.
so-
They do. They do.
Yes.
They do. I can hear an ice cream truck from 10 miles away. I can hear that jingle anywhere. You want to see
Ours
Eddie
sound
run full
like
speed?
dying horror movie trucks.
I
Yeah.
start losing my mind like my mom.
Get your ice cream.
Ice
Going to
cream!
flashbacks
But that's
and
right.
start asking people for $2. Like, just expect. Mom,
Yeah.
$2. Wait, I'm
Yeah.
going more. I can get it.
Just like reaching like elbow deep in your mom's purse, like rummaging around from change and getting smacked in the back of the head. Like,
Yeah.
so many of
Literally.
those. So,
But I want a rocket pop.
Mom, come on! I need a strawberry shortcake though.
SpongeBob has gumball eyes. You don't get it.
You always went for the cookies and cream like cup things.
Basic.
Yeah, those
With
are
the,
solid.
Those are wooden
solid.
spoons.
Yeah, yeah. Although, why is it every ice cream truck person is like the equivalent of a like carnival ride operator? Like super skeevy. I don't know. I've never had a not creepy ice cream truck person, but I guess that's beside the point. So.
Kind of unrelated, but I saw this thing where I don't remember where he's at. There's a guy that has an ice cream like bicycle and fridge thing, and the way the kids can get free ice cream, but they have to solve either a math equation or answer a history question.
Okay, all right.
That makes sense.
Probably doesn't get a lot of sales during the summer because kids are like, I'm not doing homework, fam. I'm out of school right now. No thanks.
I don't know, free ice cream.
I'm curious though. You said he has a bicycle and he has a fridge.
Yeah,
How does that
it's
work?
it's like a little box. I don't know. It's
Okay. It's like a
probably
little refrigerated
built-
box, probably like on the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's actually on the
On a
front.
red
but
wagon.
I
Oh, it's on the
wonder
front.
he's probably redesigned, somebody redesigned the bike or something. I don't know. I didn't look that closely at the bike itself. I was just like, that's kind of cool. And then
Well,
I
the
scrolled
bikes
past
in Holland
the video.
actually have carts in the front of them too, because a lot of people will ride their bikes with kids to school. So they sit in this like little wagon in the front, and then it just goes with the. I don't know how it works.
Oh,
It
okay.
looks really cool, but
All right.
One of these.
fancy.
Just
Well, our Americans, we
I
like to
don't know how
drag
it turns,
we like to
like,
drag our
it's just
kids behind
weird.
us on our bikes, so we don't want to
Yeah.
see our actual children when we're on them.
Well, if they fall off, you don't want to see them. It's fine.
Yeah, you're like, oh, all of a sudden I can
Oh, we
maneuver a
lost
lot
Jimmy?
better now.
Oh,
Okay.
Jimmy.
Oh, that's fine. Well, I'll be able to pedal up that hill a lot quicker. That's for sure. So,
I'll wait for you
Lady
up here.
Ez with the 35 bits. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. Blood Source says
Bojangles
police
did have a
departments are
question
giving.
about what our topics were before we proceed. What the
Our
were for
topics
tonight.
are, well, I just got done with gaming news, Bojangles. You're like the old man that comes in and be like, I don't have time for this whole show. What the hell are we talking about here today? What are our topics? I've got
Give me the
very
headlines.
important. Yeah, give me the bullet points. I've got shit to do. No. And actually, I'm doing gaming news, and that's a good place to stop. I am done, so we're gonna go ahead and segue right to music, and what you want to talk about. So, and I'm gonna throw my
Well,
papers
maybe
like
I
this.
don't want to talk about it now. Do you ever
Well,
think
that's awkward.
Crap.
It's a little awkward.
just kidding. I just want to go
BRB
back.
screen.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, wait,
It's time
what?
for a break.
So confused. Bees just throwing out there that the Walking Dead, the Telltale Walking Dead, is better than the Walking Dead show.
Yes.
I would agree.
Yes. Not even
Being
close.
someone who's playing it right now, the game's
Seeing
a lot
how
better.
the show's been trashed for 5 years now. Like, yeah, I would.
Now, has anybody, because it's based off a graphic novel, right?
Yes, Robert Kirkman's work. Yeah,
Mhm.
and the graphic novel is
Has
still
anybody-
going, and it's very good. It's
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was curious. So, like,
Yeah.
of the three, like, is the novel
Of the three
best?
media,
Like,
what's the best?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I would agree.
it's like the case with most of these things. The original source material usually is the best, being the graphic novel. But at the same time, they've really diverted a lot. Like in the graphic novel, Rick lost a hand to the governor. He's been one-handed for a long time. They did bring Carl got shot in the eye just like he did in the show. A lot of characters they killed in similar ways to other characters in the show. So like at this point, it's branched off so much that they really are different things. But I personally think Walking Dead fell off after the prison season, which was like season 2 or 3. Like after that, it's been like the same
Yeah,
show to me.
3.
Like it's been downhill. So
Yeah.
and
But if you're going to compare the TV show and the game is definitely
Yeah.
ahead of the show.
Yeah. Yeah,
Not even a
it's not
question.
even close. I actually really enjoy Fear the Walking Dead more at this point because it's more refreshing because it's from the beginning and it's like there's not all this baggage attached to it. It's like it's a good entry point to get into that universe. Although I think they are starting to cross over some characters. I think Morgan from The Walking Dead is going to be in Fear the Walking Dead, which is kind of cool because I like I like my my Black Jedi in the Zombie Wasteland with
Yeah.
a stick. So
Yeah, Morgan's great. Morgan's great.
yeah, he's good. He's good.
And Jono threw out there that the combat is in the Telltale games. Yes, he said it, even though that's pretty much all he plays most days. And
Yeah, well, I mean,
to be fair,
sorry,
it's not
go ahead.
really
Let me go.
combat. It's just, hey, this is happening. Spam this button.
yeah,
And that's
Oh,
never really been
continue,
Telltale's
sorry.
thing. That's never been Telltale's thing.
Yeah.
It's like it's a cinematic, story-driven type thing. It's
Mm-hmm.
even if you play the Batman Telltale series, combat's the same way. It's because it's not there to showcase the combat. It's there to tell a story, and that is just a moment to get you to the next part of the story. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. But although it'll be
And
interesting to see how it works out in this last season because apparently they are trying to make it more like a traditional sort of like a combat sort of thing. So
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I want to go back to real quick on the backlog. We talked about what we had in our backlog, but what we didn't talk about was how we go about going through our backlog.
Ah.
You right.
Hmm.
You're right. I see you. I don't
I
know
thought-
how to answer that. I have a game that I've been playing that I still haven't finished yet. So, which is actually The Walking Dead season 2.
And I had some good bullet points on that paper, but I threw it over there now. So now we're just gonna have to go without it. There we go. No, I remember something. One, it was like you can categorize games on Steam, right? So you can put them in a category like, okay, so like games I'm playing now, maybe games I want to get to, and like games I'm never gonna play. Or like I mentioned before, you can just straight up hide some games. Like I guess some people get stressed out. It's like, oh my god, I got so many games. Like what am I gonna do? Like hide some of them? I don't know. I mean, honestly, the real solution is to just stop buying so many effing games, right? Like that's that's yeah. But who wants to do that? So
A cool thing you could do is also you can like make a schedule and post it to have some kind of like accountability. It's not really like if you don't follow your schedule, someone's gonna like smack you or something, but it's more
I mean,
so
I
just
can.
like this is out there. You could, I'd prefer you not, though.
I'd be more than happy to smack anyone who needs it if they're not playing a certain game. So.
But no, I think if you make a list and you post it, and then like your viewers are expecting you to play this game on a special date, or keep up with it, even if you got behind in a game because your chat was really liking you, say play Breath of the Wild and you played it a day extra and you're a day behind. At least they have a general idea of the games that you're going to go to next.
Yeah.
That's a good way to keep you on track. But
so
that, I am
along the points, like when you were saying, people have too many options.
Yeah,
it's actually a condition that like choice overload is a real thing. When you have too many options presented to you, your ability to make a decision and choose one route or option or game or whatever is actually hindered when you have too many options.
Oh yeah, you're locked up.
There's a big old science in like, or not science, but like there's articles and studies that have happened that like are straight up. You present someone with their favorite thing and 3 other things, are going to go with their favorite thing. But if you present someone with their favorite thing and 10 options, they're going to be like, what do I choose? There's so much going on. So
Yep.
Totally get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Eddie, that's the opposite advice that you gave me the other day. Vault, I'm a horrible advice giver. So first of all, I'm sorry that you listened to what I had to say. And second, you should, I'm sorry. What we're talking, is that when we were talking about No Man's Sky? You should just get No Man's Sky. It's awesome. What other advice I had probably was pretty terrible. So that's
Rambo also said you can create a goal or challenge for doing it, whether you're a streamer or not. It might excite things a little bit.
That's true.
So goals are good.
That's true.
Goals are good.
That is true.
Like reading a book every month type of goal. Play a game, get through a game, and
get through a new game every month. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Add a little bit of variety to your life.
We all think about the idea that gaming addiction is being considered an actual addiction now. I think hasn't like internet addiction been a thing in China or Japan or something like China for like a long time, like a few years now.
Korea. South Korea has had an issue with it. I mean, it's the culture's a little bit different because I mean, like they spend a lot of time in internet cafes over there, so like you literally have people like huddled over like screens and stuff like that. But I mean, I think addiction's addiction. I think you've got an addictive personality or you don't, and you can fill that void with alcohol, drugs, sex, video games, whatever have you. And and so I don't think you can necessarily say people have a video game addiction per se as much as people have addictive personalities and they will fill that void with whatever they choose.
You can get addicted to really anything.
You can get addicted to cheeseburgers. I mean,
could be
eating. Period.
Yeah. Yep.
There's a bunch of different addictions. It's all psychology.
Yeah. So
I
think
would agree with that.
I think it's a little hasty to say, oh, there's a such thing as video game addiction. I think that the focus is a little too narrow. I think you need to open that scope up and be like, okay, well, addiction is an issue in itself, and like, what are people, filling that void with? So, cold beers and cheeseburgers, absolutely.
Literally a whole show devoted to weird addictions. Yeah, they do have that.
I mean, has anyone seen Hoarders? I mean, if you ever need to feel better about your life, fire up an episode of Hoarders and you will immediately feel so good about your life within like 10 minutes. Unless you're a hoarder, then you might feel worse.
Then you might feel worse.
Or, they might be worse and you'd be like, at least I'm not that bad. So.
It's true. Yes, it's true. A restaurant in San Diego. Oh, actually called Cold Beers and Cheeseburgers.
Oh,
I love it. I love it. Solid title.
Very simple.
Solid title.
Eddie wants to go.
Simple but strong.
Yes. So who's driving with me to San Diego from San Jose? That's probably was it like a 5-hour drive probably?
Well, I could literally pick every single one of you up on the way. So
you should do that.
You're driving.
I need you to get off camera now and get in your car and come. Let's start that. Let's
driving.
She's like, she go.
I got this. It is 5 hours.
Yeah, it's
hilarious.
Like none of the cities in Cali. Is there like any cities in Cali that are like an hour away? Everything's like 6 hours from each other in California. Like it's horrible. I don't think I would like that. I would just stay in one city.
The major cities.
Yeah.
Meat and potatoes.
6 hours from LA to San Jose. Add like 3.5 more to get to San Diego. Oh God. Yeah, I'm good on that. I'm good. All right.
Potatoes.
So what's next? What we got?
In San Jose. We're supposed to talk about bots. And so I'm doing basically just like a super basic talk on bots because
get your little piece of paper
let's
out.
face it, there's
Show chat your
No.
little paper. Let's see it.
No.
Let's see the little paper. It's so cute. All right, I'm sorry.
Let's talk about this.
That was even smaller. What is that? We didn't see that one before.
It's the same too.
It's gotten smaller. You're gonna have a
Memo
post-it
pads,
note.
Eddie. Memo
That's
pads.
your opinion. We'll accept it.
All right, I'm sorry. Please continue.
Mr. Troll.
Yes.
Totally
Go ahead. Bots.
Anyway, with bots, like we could talk a lot of super specific stuff, like how to set them up, but and we may get there at some point, but I thought a good, kind of starting point would be to talk about a few of the different bots that are out there, name them, and some of their features. So if you're looking for a bot, if you're looking for a new bot, maybe you could look at some of these. And if any of you use any of these, you can, whether it's the crew here or anyone in chat, welcome to, add in your opinions of bots, whether you like them, don't like them, if you've used them, whatever. I think a lot of us use the Streamlabs chatbot, which was formerly Ankbot.
Didn't know that.
Yes, yeah, I was using it before it swapped over.
Old school user. Legacy user.
Yeah. And I don't get any cool things from it though, so.
Rip.
Let's call Streamlabs right now. Put them on the Streamlabs. I got some issues with them. You give Musi some free stuff. stuff.
So who else? Mars, what do you use?
I use Streamlabs chatbot. That's the only bot I have. I use it for like very simple commands. Other than that, I try to keep it organic as possible. Like if people want to know, they usually ask like, "Oh, what's your Twitter? Oh, what's this?" And then I just tell them put the exclamation point in front of it. I don't really like when it just kind of fills your chat with random
Right.
oh, here, read this. I miss things really easily. It just adds more things to miss.
Yeah.
Yep.
I also use.
Streamlabs-
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
No, I was gonna say I also use Streamlabs chatbot. I originally used Nightbot. I hate Nightbot. Nightbot never listens to me. Nightbot, the timer's
Nightbot.
always off. They end up sandwiching my messages back to back. If Nightbot was a person, I'd fight them in a parking lot at night
Let's go.
with headlights, cars surrounding it with the headlights on, like in Kickboxer. So anyway, go ahead.
All right. That was
That
very
was very specific. That was very specific.
of your feelings. I appreciate that.
But no, I like
Okay.
Streamlabs. It seems better. I haven't had issues with the timers. I'm kind of like you, Mars. I don't have a whole lot. I have an automated message for Twitch Prime. I have an automated message that puts the Twitch Crew Discord link out there, and that's pretty much it. I don't really do the mini games or any of the other cool stuff all the cool kids do. I keep it pretty simple. So.
So I still want to call it Ankbot because that's what's been ingrained in my little brain. But
It's a large brain, but continue.
it has
It's a good thing.
some days, man.
Yeah.
Some days. But you can do like you're talking about. That it does offer timers, so you can set certain messages to rotate through. You can create custom commands. There are games. There's a bank heist. There is an arena ?
Yes. There is.
And there's currency that you can give your viewers that they can use to spend on those games. There is a song request feature. So there's a lot of different features you can use in Streamlabs chatbot, as well as there's a raid function. I've never used the raid function from there, so I'm not quite sure how it works, but that is a thing that they have in that. And it does, of course, come with its own dashboard that you can use so that you can have it up and you can see things right there. And if you need to add a command or fix a command right then and there, you can do that easily.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's actually a really cool bot. It is one of the many free ones, so it is a good
It's
option.
very user friendly too.
It is.
It is.
Rumbo points out there are also giveaways, polls. You can do quotes with it, betting. I don't know if he's mentioning the auto raid and auto commands yet.
And
So
so
you
you
can
can mention the
put all
super
the-
mod and chatbot editor as well.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it is a good one, and I think that's why a lot of people like using it, because it is user friendly and
Mm-hmm.
offers a lot. A lot of people use Nightbot, or Nightbot more correctly, I'm not a fan of Nightbot personally. It tends to have super strict settings for chat, which you can go in and fix yourself, but I've seen a lot of people get purged or timed out because of links or
Every
spamming
time.
or a bad word. Like it's just finicky, and like Eddie says, the timers on it are not super effective. They tend to back up on top of each other, and I have, I think, 3 or 4 timed messages on the Streamlabs chatbot, and I've never had an issue with them
Same.
backing up on each other. They
Right.
rotate through appropriately in every 15 minutes or whatever I have it set to do,
Mhm.
which is really nice.
Mhm.
The Nightbot also has a dashboard that you can use. There is customization with it. You can build some custom commands in there. Like a lot of these bots, you have to learn their parameters to build some of those, especially if you want them to name a certain person or a certain channel or whatever. If you build a hug command so that it hugs the person you tell them to hug or whatever, you have to learn those parameters. And something to always look for with your bot is the documentation. There's almost always documentation out there that tells you what those parameters are. It can be kind of confusing at first, but the more you play with it, the easier it is. And I know in our Discord within Stream Questions, there's always a fair amount of us that can help jump in. So if you ever have a question about any of those, we can do that. Another one I see a lot. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think I'm the only one in here that uses Stream Elements, and I just
Yeah,
made
yeah.
the switch over to Stream Elements. It's really nice. I didn't before, just because Stream Elements you had to do OBS Studio, you had to pull in your overlays and everything from that. But, and I don't know if anyone else knows this, Stream Elements just came out with essentially their version of Slobs. It's streamelements.obs.live, I think is what it's called.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Yeah, so I finally made all the switch over. Slot helped me with some of the command stuff. But that one's nice because you don't have to find the documentation anywhere else. All the variables are like built within the platform. There's like a tab that you can use. So if anyone out there is
Nice.
looking for something that's like pretty simple and you don't have to be looking all over the place, I know that Slobs obviously has their integration. Then you get the chat bot, and that one's pretty straightforward as well. I had a really easy time setting that one up alone. And then the Stream
Yeah.
Elements one was pretty intuitive and walks you through the whole thing. So
And I've seen a lot more people using Stream Elements lately, because it does. You have the different chat commands. You can build your custom commands as you need them. It offers games as well. I saw like bingo and duels and roulette.
there's all kinds. There's like a pyramid stacking game. So like
What?
yeah, an emote pyramid stacking game. So if someone builds a pyramid like three high, you can have it send them a message, or 5 high pyramid, or like however it goes. If they successfully complete a pyramid, it like does a little cheer for them. And they have some other cool widget features. Like there's Kappagen, which is like if you see the little emojis exploding across someone's stream when like a follow comes in or something like that. There's a little bit more cheeky stuff that you can put into Stream Elements that they've thought about. A little bit more
That's awesome.
interactive, I feel.
I may have to look at that one.
Yeah.
I've been with Honkbot Streamlabs for a while, but I kind of like the idea of that interactivity with your chat. I just catching a comment Jono made. You have to, in Nightbot, you have to create commands one by one in the bot. That's pretty much with any bot, Jono, with your commands. If you want a custom command, you have to build them
You
one
have
by
to
one
make it,
for the
right.
most part.
Yeah, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, just throwing this out there. Stream Elements has a whole page of common commands that literally have an on and off switch. So like you can go
Nice.
through and there's shout outs, follow age, which is really cool. So like the user can, do command follow age, and it'll tell them how long they've been following you, like to the day and stuff. So there's a whole list. There's like, I don't know, probably 40 or 50
That's awesome. That's awesome.
different commands and mod commands and stuff like that you literally just click, and it's on.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So I can see why a lot of people are making that switch. But yeah, if you want to create any other maybe non-typical command, you're going to have to build it each one by each one. So
Yeah, and Slat was also saying that in she was in Prismac's stream and he was talking about, can we do a save Tom command, and she was able to do that on the fly with him without having him look away from his stream.
Mhm.
And the really big thing that she said that really sold her on Stream Elements was being able to give someone control of your bot so that you can have that.
That's
Well,
huge.
and actually,
Functionality.
more of the bots have that, and people don't
Mhm.
realize it. Nightbot, your mods can actually build commands for you, but they have to know the parameters.
Mm.
And Onkbot, you can too, but you have to give them editor permission.
Okay.
So the bots do offer that. So a lot of people don't realize that, and sometimes, like with Streamlabs chatbot, there is that extra step of going in and saying, "Hey, I give this person permission to be an editor to create commands." But it is a possible thing. Stream Elements probably makes it a little bit easier in a lot of ways. But I know I've done commands on the fly for Eddie, some of them being like joke commands and stuff. When he was using Nightbot.
Yes. Not a cheater.
I think I remember those. Yeah. I'd find a way to screw those up, so.
Oh yeah.
I'm not
I've screwed up plenty. Another free one we see a lot is Moobot. Moobot also has a
Moobot.
dashboard. It's Moobot. It's also customizable. Like a lot of them, it has spam filters. You can build your commands. It has polls, giveaways, song requests. So it's a pretty simple bot. I think a lot of people go to it because it is an easy one, but it doesn't necessarily offer more beyond that. Not like a ton of games like Stream Elements or Chatbot might have. Another popular one I see a lot of people using that I don't like is Wisebot or Wizbot, whatever.
Yeah.
It does have a chat overlay. It gives you all the follower notifications. You also can get access to a follow-unfollow list. There's also a full overlay with it. It can do random announcements, which is basically a timer. Permission system, spam filters, games, giveaways. The reason why I don't like it is because it tries to be intuitive to what's going on in your chat, and it will like post that you've had this many viewers
I've seen that.
watching,
Viewers,
and it drives me nuts because that's like, I personally, if I'm in a chat and I see that, I'm like, I don't care to see that when I'm watching somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
That is a
And
big
as
deal
a
for a lot
streamer,
of
I
people,
wouldn't
though.
want it.
Yeah.
It is.
For a lot of people, the viewer number, the streams that they're in, even for viewers, the streams that they're in, like a lot of people don't take the time to go to the people with 3, 4, 5 viewers. They don't go down to the smaller streamers. And if they are supporting smaller streamers, they're not making it past the second or third page where people are still, especially in big games like Fortnite, they still have 10 or 11 or 12 viewers. So I can understand why it's there. It has a use for some people. I think most of us probably tend to agree that, or are of the mindset that viewer count is probably less impactful on a stream than being engaged with the stream.
Yeah, for me, it pulls me away. Like, okay, there's 2 people watching. Like, cool, I'm happy for you, but it doesn't
Personally, I
add
find it
anything.
obnoxious.
Yeah.
Because it's just like,
I do
kind of
too.
like one. It's in red, which
It
just kind of
is.
like throws it in your face. Like, oh, by the way, you have 2 people watching, or if you have a follower,
Plus one
it says like,
follower.
oh, plus, yeah. It's, I don't know. It's just it's aggressive bot. I don't like it.
It is.
Agrobot.
It is. And I don't personally like it. But like Train saying, it has a function, and for some people, that may be a good fit for you. So you can always check it out.
I don't
last
think it's
bot
a
I wanted-
long-term bat.
I don't either.
Bot.
Say it.
Bots.
Bat.
Bots.
Say it.
Bots.
I don't think it's a long-term bot, but yeah.
Jono pointed out that you can actually use multiple bots in conjunction. You do have to be careful with that, because one can
They will fight each other.
they will fight each other. But Nightbot and Moobot have been worked so that they actually work together fairly well.
Mhm.
That's not to say that every now and then they don't butt heads, but it can be something to think about, because sometimes one will offer something another one doesn't. But I feel like something like Stream Elements, Streamlab Chatbot, or this other one I'm going to talk about offers a lot. So why have 2 bots when you can do it all in one? I like the simplicity of having one personally.
Right.
That's why I put Stream
Rambo.
Elements. That's why I put Stream Elements in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
I was
True.
like, it's just, I didn't want to have to have Stream Elements open and my OBS open and you know, my
Yeah.
Twitch, like
It's
my
a lot.
dashboard open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't want it all. So, but now that Stream Elements is that integration, I'm pretty excited about it. I've only played with it for like 3 days, and
Very cool. I'm gonna have to look at it now.
but it's
'cause I
pretty
was kind of
simple.
iffy,
Yes,
but-
simple to pick up.
Rambo, that would only happen to you where you'd have two bots ban each other.
Nice.
It's pretty hilarious. And he's actually mentioning the next bot I want to talk about, which is actually a really good bot. The problem is it's a paid bot. So it's called DeepBot, and there's actually a lot of customization with it if you get into the VIP. So you can do a one-time payment of $10, and it gives you 1 free month of the VIP access. After that, you get just the basics, which is loyalty points, raffles, some user management, song requests for YouTube. There's a bank heist and an arena game, commands, timed messages, betting polls, queues, the basics. $10 when you can, you know, have one of the free ones. The $5 a month, though, that if you do the VIP access, it's not all bad. It's not user friendly because you do need an understanding of the commands. They're the parameters, especially if you want to do a lot of really cool customized commands. For example, I used to moderate for somebody who uses DeepBot, and I was able to use an API to use randomize answers every time somebody would use the command. So, for example, it was a lewd stream, so he had a spank command, and you could do spank Mars, you know, and whatever, and it would come up with Musi spanked Mars with, and then whatever the what, no, so like it would come up with one of 6 choices that was in that API, and it would be different every time.
That's pretty cool.
There was also a Hitman one. So like, and you can do that actually, if you can figure out how to do the APIs, you can actually do that with something like Streamlabs Chatbot, but you have to learn how to do the APIs, and you have to have an understanding of it. Looking is free, touching will cost you. But if you do also do the $5 a month, you also get follower notification follower sub and dono notifications that it'll do. It has a stream chat overlay for you. It also adds a drag race mini game, auto hosting manager, a commercial manager. So once you get to partner, you can manage your commercials from there. And it also has some Game Wisp and Discord integration in it as well. Is it worth the $5 a month for that? I don't know for sure. As somebody who used it a lot and got used to the parameters, I liked it. But really something again like chatbot, Streamlabs chatbot, or poor Rambo is getting auto-modded like
Yeah, I
crazy.
love auto-mods. Comes in so
Or Stream
clutch.
Elements
Right.
is for free. You get a lot of the same things. So, but and there's other bots out there. This is not even a comprehensive list. There's other ones out there that you can use, and some of them definitely have different features that you can use. They won't dab on you, but they might.
Train
I don't
will.
know.
Be able to.
Train will.
They might. Rambo could probably figure out since he gets his bots to hate on each other.
Could you possibly get the bots to start spanking each other and have a never-ending spanking going
That's
on?
It-
that's what I'm
Ooh.
talking about. An endless
Spank
spank.
train. Spank train.
Theoretically, if you could figure out how to build, that was something. So this streamer, he did actually have 2 bots that one would trigger the other one to do a response. It wasn't a spank part of it, but and I can't remember why he had it.
Yeah,
do
Stream
that.
Elements has a feature that, like, if someone uses certain phrases in chat, you can set it to respond to certain phrases in chat. Like if someone uses the term like rig or something like that, it can automatically respond with, this is my, and whatever your response is, or, look below in the panels to see my setup or something like that.
That's
And then it
smart.
has like a timer and stuff like that. So like it won't, so someone, like if someone spams rig or says rig 5 times, it's not going to respond every time because it won't respond for the next 10 minutes or
Right.
15 minutes or something.
Right.
So
That reminds
that's
me of
pretty
another bot. I can't think of what it's called. It's Phantom. Is it Phantom Bot? Shoot, no, it's not Phantom Bot. Phantom Bot's another one. I didn't really look at what's offered for it, but there's a I've seen this bot that it catches keywords like that, but it like I hate it because it spams chat and it's like you go in and you're like, Eddie, I love that you're playing this game, and then it comes up with its own response of, Eddie, I love bananas that cook in the morning, like, and it's like some random phrase, and I'm like, what the like, this makes no sense, and it's spamming it. Anyway, I don't remember what bot that is, probably because I dislike that feature of it. So I'm like, but my god, you guys, you're just testing Autobot tonight.
Being aggressive dabbing is aggressive.
Crowlebot. That's a different bot, but maybe hers does it too. The one I'm thinking of, Rambo, is Christopher. You've probably seen it too, but
banana eggs.
Banana eggs. Like, yeah, it comes up with really random things, and I'm like, I hate using words I know it's gonna trigger things, because then it's gonna come up with something really stupid. It's not even funny half the time. It's just random,
silly. Yeah.
Right.
If it was funny or like it turned into a joke somehow, that's one thing. But it's just spammy. So I don't, guys. Oh my god.
He didn't even say
auto-modded, yes.
Wow.
Love it.
It triggered yes, but not fuck.
I think it triggered Hoenma's name.
I hate Koenma, dude.
I think it's his name.
That's great.
Oh, it's because it says Ho in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Subtlery.
No automod.
Sadness.
Great memories. Anyway, does chat have any thoughts, comments? Rambo's been putting in some about his bots. Any other thoughts from chat or from you guys here?
I'm very minimalistic. I'm cool with like one bot, to be honest.
Streamlabs gets it done Streamlabs got it done for me. I just made the switch, and I'm in the tinkering phase of Stream Elements.
Mm-hmm.
I also have the advantage of not being a very old streamer, so I'm like, I've only been in Streamlabs for 3 or 4 months or whatever, 3 months. So I don't feel like I'm so deep and integrated into it that like I can't get out of it and make
like
the
you're
change
super attached to it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have so many commands in there that I'm gonna have to transfer over to Element. Like I've already transferred all my commands over to Elements. So it was pretty simple.
Yeah, I think it also forces me to be more interactive with chat if I don't have a bot, because it forces me to actually have to like explain things instead of just being like, oh, it'll pop up in like 5 minutes or something.
There's a command for that. Yeah.
I mean, we're back to the like, we're small enough. I think it's really cool to think about, like, if you, I don't know, when you're thinking about partners and stuff like that, they have to have something to respond to.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
To their chat blowing up, you can't. There's no way to keep up on stuff like that.
Absolutely,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
We have that advantage where we don't even have to like. I'm not really thinking about. I just thought it was cool that the commands were there. That like, oh, someone says rig, it'll respond with this message.
That is cool.
That's a very
Especially
cool
if
option.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but like I won't need that. I don't need that for.
Right.
I won't need it for the next years. Like who knows how long I won't need that for, but it'll be a long time.
Cool. All right, that's all I had to say.
Awesome.
Okay.
I think next we're going to do our quick little feature video.
Yes.
On Luchimite.
Yes, that's right.
Luchimite
was our featured member of the week.
He's not even hanging out with us.
He's not, but we'll still go
here.
ahead and honor him.
He said hi before.
Yeah, he did say hi before. He
said hi before. Yeah.
I'm the worst. I missed it.
Looking. So anyway, all right, yeah. So let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and get that started here.
Just shoot him.
I'm up above.
Oh, never mind. Right now.
Got him. Oh, did you see that? I've never been in this map though. Oh my god.
Yes, Lego.
Can't trust anyone, Josh.
Oof.
Why? Everyone's a murderer. There's a thingy right here.
Go through. You can go within the car. Get in.
Go.
Just don't jump out. I swear to you, don't jump out.
Don't jump.
Awesome. Once again, congrats to Luchimite. Awesome dude, very positive guy. Always has something positive to say. Very cool guy. Thanks for putting that together, Slot. That was pretty awesome. So cool.
I love when people get so proud of the things that they do. Like they get a kill and they're like, oh.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was a good flick, though. That was a good flick.
It was.
That was good.
It was.
That was good. That was good. But Musey, did we lose you? Are you?
She
still
said she's
there?
gonna be back.
Okay, cool.
She will return.
I do believe that we're gonna go ahead and move on. I think Mars, yes, the lovely Mars Echelon. I do believe you were next. So if you want to go ahead and take it away, go right ahead.
Okay, so
what are you going to be talking
about?
What are we talking about, Mars? Sorry.
My topic is about Twitch etiquette. No, so I'm gonna be talking about like Twitch etiquette, how to act in other people's streams, how to act in your stream, how to act on Discords, and basically just how to be a good person that you'd want to like respect and be respected kind of person, Everyone wants to have a nice, healthy, positive chat. No one wants any of this, negativity coming in there, trolls, people that are just going to come in there to ruin your experience, your viewers' experience. Even in your personal Discords, that's a big thing. For example, like I was in New York Gamer's stream. He was streaming and a bunch of people joined his Discord and were spamming terrible things. So this is just like the topic of how not to be that guy. So first big thing I think with Twitch etiquette is how to just act in somebody else's chat. You want to come in, say hello, don't backseat their game, be a nice person, interact with other people in their chat, make sure that you're not, telling the streamer that they're doing something wrong, tell them that they're, just basically ask how their day is, just anything that you'd really want someone to do for you. If someone was to come into your chat and they were trolling your chat, you'd probably more than likely want to time them out and or ban them. Anything that you would deem inappropriate in your chat is just an automatic no-go in somebody else's chat. Don't have that double standard of, oh, it's not okay if you do it to me, but I'm going to do it to this person. That's just basic etiquette in general. You just don't really want to be that person that people are going to view negatively, that people are going to be like, oh, he's in my chat, or oh, they're in my Discord. Just always be a nice, positive, mature person when you're in somebody else's chat. Even if you're friends with the person, that does not make it okay for you to basically crap on them their entire stream. It really does turn other viewers off if you have a random viewer that comes into your stream and I see, say, Eddie just going off on Muse for whatever have you. And even though they might have it as a completely friendly rapport, if I don't know them, I wouldn't see it that way.
Right.
And I think also as a moderator, you should hold yourself to an even higher standard in that regard of just, if you're going to drop a joke here and there, fine. Don't make it the primary use of your chat and your time in somebody else's stream.
I think it makes it so uncomfortable when you get someone like in your chat that says like even a couple negative things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've had not a bunch. I've been very lucky not to deal with trolls just yet. So, but I have had a couple experiences where people were saying like, we're just coming in and being like, dude, like you're whatever, saying negative stuff, you're bad at the game, whatever it is. And like, generally the streamer knows when they're playing bad, right? Everyone has a bad day or a couple bad games. Everyone knows it. It makes it so uncomfortable as a viewer. And I've been in other people's streams as a viewer where I'm like chatting it up and then someone negative comes in and the streamer doesn't shut it down, or that person is allowed to kind of run rampant with the negative, and it's not even generally negative. Mm-hmm. It's because there has to be some sort of relation, right? You understand as a viewer, you're like, okay, if the streamer's not shutting it down, there's some sort of relationship there. Don't run rampant with it. Don't abuse the ability to rip on your friends a little bit. We all like to rip on our friends. I do it all the time. Mm-hmm. Like it's not, just don't run rampant with it because it makes it so uncomfortable for the other people that don't have that relationship.
Yeah, and I think what it can also do is it can also kind of like monopolize the conversation, right? If like someone who knows you really well comes in and starts chatting with you, like they are absorbing all because you only have so much of attention span to give when you're gaming and streaming at the same time. So if one of your good friends comes in, they might be, hey, how's so-and-so doing? Did you do that thing you're talking about? This and that. And then like other people are going to feel like, well, I really don't want to throw my hat in there because obviously this person's a good friend. They're chatting with this person. Like it's kind of, and I've seen that before too. And it's kind of a turnoff. And I mean, it's always cool to have friends or people, IRL come into your streams. That's great. But it's like when they monopolize that conversation, it can be a turnoff for other new viewers or people that might not know you as well and want to, and just want to be there for the stream. So
it's hard to get into conversations that you don't feel like when there's no opening, there's no opening.
Yep.
Yep. Whether you know someone or not. When there's no opening for conversation, there's no opening. It makes it hard, for sure.
Slot, I see your comment. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Another thing is, too, especially as members of this community, we all jump in each other's chats all of the time. We're always in each other's streams watching.
Right.
You don't have to be a mod to also support your friends. If you see that kind of behavior, don't feel, bad if you're going to help them shut that down, because some people might not have that kind of personality where they're like, oh, I see that comment, I want to say something, but they might not feel comfortable, attacking a troll, even though they're the ones actually being attacked. We're all friends here. If you see something like that, don't be afraid to speak up and protect your friends too. That's also helpful in an etiquette, saying like, look, like you don't have to be mean about it. There's a mature way to handle all trolls. But if you see that, you can simply say, like that kind of behavior isn't welcome here. Like, again, we're all here to support each other. Don't let that kind of behavior go unnoticed on your end either. But also don't get super aggressive to where you're taking over the chat and basically adding to that kind of negativity.
Don't become the troll to the troll.
Exactly. Moving on a little bit to how to act in discords. Just because you're off stream, just because you are off camera, just because you are out of somebody else's chat and a little bit more on a private side and not live, does not give you the right to also act trolly or super aggressive or super rude to anybody. Again, even if you are friends with the person, this is just a general overlay of all personal communication from you to another streamer, you to another viewer, you to your friends. If you're going to troll your friends, do it in a DM. You don't need to do it where everyone's going to see this entire line of just trolling where you're just going to flood an entire chat. Another thing when you're in somebody else's streams, if you've played the game before, whether it's your friend, someone you don't know, a partnered streamer, don't backseat their game. Unless they are open to something like that. If they legitimately ask you, hey chat, how do I do this? Then add your 2 cents, but don't come in here and be like, you have to go left. You didn't kill that guy. Oh, there's a chest over there. Let the streamer figure it out for themselves. I know personally myself, like if it's a game I've never played before, and this is anybody, you know full well that you're going to miss a shit ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Unless you are that person that will literally check every single corner, lift up that pixelated rock and just put it down. Like, you're going to miss something. Again, I think and also as a streamer on your side, you have to be willing to set your ground rules. If you're okay with people backseating, let them know. If you're not, let them know. Or establish that fine line of only say something if I legitimately ask a question. I was in another person's stream. He was a partnered streamer. He says, I will ask a lot of questions. They are all rhetorical. Please do not backseat my game. It's really just me talking to myself. And that's fine. Yeah. But again, he made that known to his viewers and his viewers respected that.
Absolutely.
And again, don't let your friends get away with stuff that you wouldn't let people that you don't know get away with. So if your friend is going to backseat and help you with the game, but you have a random viewer come in who's going to start talking, don't yell at your viewer if you have your friend who's already telling you how to play the game.
Right.
Yep.
Don't have a double standard between people that you do know and don't know. If you want to have a general line of just an establishment within your own stream, keep everybody to that same standard. I think it's a very good thing on your stream to have that set rules. As soon as you go into the chat, have that little rule box that pops up. It doesn't have to be long and detailed, but have a set of rules that you're going to respect yourself in your own stream. But also if you see them on somebody else's stream, again, just be respectful, be a decent human being. Don't attack anybody. Reading the basic info underneath their stream. If you're going to have a question that maybe you think that it might be answered in their panels, take the 5 minutes to go down and read them. Sometimes if you ask a really basic question that might already be in their panels, it sometimes throws the streamer off as well as the viewers. And might take away from what they're doing. Because I know I've had a couple people ask me a couple questions that are in my panels when I'm playing Siege, and I'll look down and then I'll die and then I get frustrated, but that's just because I died. But if it's something that you could take the extra 5 minutes out of your time to go read, just go check it out. And if it's not there, they'll probably be happy to answer it for you, or a mod will be happy to answer it for you. Right. I know, especially in partnered streamers, as people that have a bunch of different viewers, their mods are usually on their game and will answer any questions that you have. So you can just at them, or find a mod that you say like, oh, I like, you see the sword next to Slot's name, just at her, write the question, and usually the mod will answer it. Usually if the streamer sees the @name, they usually have a tendency not to respond to them, because they'll know that they're probably adding the mod for a reason. Going into a chat to liven it up a little bit, again, be positive, don't troll people. It's just the entire lesson of this is just to be a decent human being and just to respect others just like you would want to be respected back. Just a general etiquette overall is just to respect others the way that and treat them the way that you want to be treated.
I think another good thing is to not assume that your rule or your lack of a rule is somebody else's lack of a rule.
Yeah,
and a rule.
absolutely.
There are a ton of people that don't mind getting blasted when they miss a kill or get, whatever it is in a game. And just because you are that type of person that's like, yo, I don't care if people thrash on me when I get headshot on Fortnite or I miss a build or something like that, like, does not mean that you get to go in other people's chats and then they miss a build and a kill and you're like, dude, you're trash, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I'm just kidding. Like,
absolutely.
I'm just kidding is not an excuse for being
to say whatever you want.
Right? Fill out the channel. I mean, that's one thing that you always got to do. I know most of us in here are semi-professional lurkers, and we try to get chats live. Like, we try to be those people that start your chat off, or if it is dead, we try to keep you going or whatever it is. I know that's an intention for all of us when we're lurking. And the one thing that I try to do is hang out for 2 or 3 minutes and just kind of see, like, okay, what is the vibe of this streamer? Right. And then the simple questions and then just getting the simple questions out there. Like, small talk sucks, but it also gives you a feel for that streamer's tone.
Absolutely. And I think it's also a big thing to notice. If you are going to hang out in someone's chat and you're uncomfortable, don't feel obligated to stick around. I think, if you want to drop them the lurk because they're your friend, by all means, drop them the lurk. But if you're that uncomfortable, why are you just going to sit around in an environment that you're going to be uncomfortable in? Because any interaction that you're going to put forward is already going to have that kind of behind it. And it's not going to be a very productive conversation. Right. Sure. If you're in someone's stream and they're cursing a lot and you're not okay with, foul language, you don't have to be there. It's the same way back if you're in your own chat and someone comes in and they don't want you cursing, but you're going to curse a lot, then you don't really want them there if that's all they're going to say is, oh, you should, dial down your language. It's the same thing back and forth. And another big thing is always just have a little bit of patience. Have patience with the streamer. Sometimes they might be having a bad day and might be coming off a little bit different, or be patient with the chat. Be patient enough with the mods if it is a problem to handle it. Don't jump down anybody's throat, or, vice versa. Don't allow yourself to be attacked again. If you're in an uncomfortable environment, just, quietly step away from it. Don't make a big stink about it, because maybe they're just, their personality doesn't match up with yours, and that's fine. It happens in the real world too. Just be patient, step away, maybe come back a different day if you wanted to give it another shot, but don't make a big stink about it, and don't monopolize our chat with, if you're just going to be negative about it. Because again, like Train said, they might be okay with that behavior.
I think one of the best things that we've been trying to build, at least within Twitch Crew, is the fact that we're not a follow for follow community. We're not someone that's like trying to force people to, we're not trying to force people to support. We're just creating there's just a platform where we have these amazing people with such amazing different personalities and are such a variety of personalities that at any moment you are going to fall into a stream and you're going to see someone that you don't like, and you're able to back out and not feel obligated to follow. You don't have to do it. Don't do it if you don't want to. Go into the next person's stream and find someone that you do like and drop them a follow and become a supporter of that person and that stream and their ideals or their mindset or their tone and all of that. Like, I think that's the best part of what's going on in Twitch Crew, is that just like we're so positive. We're very, very inclusive of everybody, and you're not forced into any sort of one directional thing. You're not forced into anything.
To tag on to that, I was just gonna say, there's over 500 of us in Twitch Crew. So if you can't find one in 500,
or we failed you. We failed you. I mean, we failed you.
But to bounce off of the being patient, asking questions. Don't keep repeating the same question every 30 seconds because you don't think it got seen. It probably did. They're waiting for a time to have a break where they can actually answer it. So don't spam questions or comments trying to get attention. That's a good way to really irritate not only the streamer but the other people in chat.
Yeah.
And adding on to that as well, don't drop bits to get someone to recognize your comment. If they're not reading your comment for whatever reason, respect that. Some people might ask you questions that you're just not comfortable answering on a stream, so you might just quietly brush it under the rug. It happens. Sometimes people come in, I know especially, female streamers, people will come in and ask really uncomfortable questions. You don't have to answer them. You don't have to acknowledge them. And if on the opposite side of that, don't drop bits or subs or anything that's just going to get that attention from them, because obviously they ignored it or passed over it for a reason. If you think the streamer was just genuinely might have just missed it, ask a second time, but don't spam it like 3 times within a couple of minutes. It's not going to be beneficial to you, and you're probably just going to annoy them.
It's even okay to ask if they saw the question.
Yeah, because then
it's perfectly okay to say, "Hey, did you see my question?" Yeah, and they'll be like, "Yeah, Then it's an easier answer to say, "Yeah, I'm not going to answer that on stream." Like, DM me whisper me about it, something like that. Like, I'm not going to answer that question.
Yeah.
Or they're going to be like, "Oh shit, no, I missed it. Like, I was in the game and it scrolled through." It's going to happen. Sometimes chats are going to get missed.
Yep.
Absolutely. So moving a bit up in the tier from that, as a moderator, if the person that you're moderating is streaming, make sure you have that rapport with them at, in that perfect etiquette. What is okay while they're streaming and what is not okay while they're streaming. Maybe when they're streaming, they don't want to be whispered 100 million messages. Maybe they don't want to be DM'd Discord 100 million times. And as a moderator, they already trust you enough to be able to give you that role. They trust you enough to be able to take care of what needs to be done, to moderate chat, ban, unban, what have you. They trust your judgment. If they ever have an issue with their judgment, they're more than likely going to tell you. So don't spam them with whispers. Don't spam them in their Discord unless they tell you that is okay. And don't feel the need to also then go into chat and be like, "Hey, check your whispers," or "Hey, check your Discord." Chances are they already see it and they're going to answer you at a later time, but it's not something that you should be doing anyway, because again, they trust you already to give you that role. So they're going to trust most of the judgment that you have. And again, if they have an issue, they're going to let you know. Hosting and raids. If you're going to host somebody, if you're going to raid somebody, make sure that it's somebody that, maybe you're going to spend a little bit of time in their chat after you do so. Sometimes it's a little frustrating as a streamer if you get a raid from somebody and then they don't say anything, because you get all of that hype that they're there. You're excited as a streamer. You want to thank them. You want to be, super happy that they're there, maybe even give them a shout out. But then on the flip side of that, you don't even say anything after you raid them. It's okay to say, "Hey, if they thank you, you're welcome for the raid. Maybe spend 2 minutes of your time just saying like, "Hey, how's your game going? How's your stream going?" And then like, say if you have to go to bed, be like, "Look, I just wanted to drop by and say hi. Enjoy the rest of your stream. I'm going to go to bed." And that's fine. But if you're just going to drop them a raid and like nothing's going to follow that hype from that, sometimes it's a little off-putting to where the streamer might see your name on the raid the next time and not get as excited, which isn't as fun on the streamer side, because of course you want to be excited in your own stream. You want to be happy that people are raiding you and have it not feel so much like you're doing it out of an obligation.
Right.
That you're raiding someone because you want to raid them.
I mean, you got to understand, like in a raid, look, anybody that's in your channel viewing your channel is because you're providing some sort of entertainment for them. You're providing some sort of like time kill. You know what I mean? Time suck. Like, but you're the catalyst of that. As the streamer, you are the catalyst of that, like all of that hype and all of that excitement. And we all know how exciting a raid is, whether it's 3 viewers or 5 viewers or 20, 11 viewers or whatever it is. We all know how exciting a raid is, but if you're not sitting there while the raid timer's counting down going, "Hey, we need to, let's get some energy going," whatever it is. And then if you're not the one presenting that energy, why would any of your viewers be tag along with that? Why would they do that? There's no obligation from your, there's no connection from your viewers to that other streamer until you make that connection. You get that other streamer being like, "Okay, hey, what are you playing tonight? What do you do? all of a sudden
Mhm.
conversation's going, and if people find those entry points, and it's those entry points in a conversation again, which is difficult to find, especially with new people, new streamers, new viewers. It's just help that transition along as best you can.
Absolutely. And people will follow that energy, just like you're talking about. Like they'll follow you, especially if they're watching you because they support you. They probably looked up to you in some kind of way to be, at least follow you enough going into the raid to at least say hi, or even drop a follow of their own if they're not going to talk because they're a lurker or what have you. Following up that hype before you were even in the raid, like Train said, to like get that energy going, or even just saying something nice about who's going, like, oh, we're gonna go raid so and so. They've been a big support in the Twitch crew, or no, they're currently playing this. I like this game. Don't you guys, maybe you guys want to try this game? Just something to at least add some kind of conversation to transition over into the next chat really does go a long way. So I definitely use your hosting and your raids effectively. Don't, if you're going to do it just out of an obligation, I'd rather you not do it at all and just end your stream. Because again, it might just come off the complete opposite of what your intention is.
Yeah. If you don't have sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you don't have the energy to even say, hey, I'm dipping out. Some emergency came up. I got to go 5 minutes ago and I needed to end my stream. And, I had to go through the whole raid and everything. At least that like, hey, how's it going? Hope your stream's good. But I got to go now. The one comment, I got to go. Here's my viewers. That's better than, at least it's more upfront and open than dropping in and disappearing.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So Nerdy Cat Girl's asking, how does one do a raid? So at the end of your stream, most people will either do /host, which will actually host the channel on your stream. And some people will do /raid, which actually will take all of your viewers and bring them into that person's stream. Again, the difference between hosting is it'll just show the other person's stream, and then the viewers have their own obligation to go over there, or the raid will just automatically throw them in there. A lot of people like the raid function more because it will help the other streamer get those views up. But again, it's just /raid and then the person's Twitch name, not the whole like HTTPS www, just like just their name. Yeah, so that's just how you do the raid command. But you were saying something.
Oh, I was just gonna ask you to address that, but in addition to that, I'll go ahead and ask your opinion of Menevalt's question. How do you feel about hosting randos?
I think it's a great thing to do. We actually have a couple people in our community that we have found because we have had random hosts from people. I know Ricky Knives, especially, she hosted me actually from another community that I was hosted from, like when I first started streaming. Had no idea who they were at the beginning. Just hosted me, started talking a little bit in my chat, and now they're one of us. I think doing that on the flip side and going to find someone completely random, it's always a toss-up. You might get a really good reaction, you might get a really bad reaction, but I don't think the bad reaction should really deter you from trying. Again, it's part of networking, it's part of finding other people, it's part of finding new people to not only help your channel grow because they might give that support back, the community grow, and just your overall like person grow within yourself as being like, hey, I did this, I tried, or it ended up being a good thing. And you might have someone new to play with, you might have someone new to talk with, and again, you just might make a new friend out of it, or just even make that person's day. Even if nothing comes of it, if you make someone smile for all of 5 minutes during the day, I think you had a pretty good day. That's just my opinion.
And there's always that possibility. Like, I got hosted by a partner streamer randomly one night.
Oh, nice.
She brought like 22 people with her. They didn't hang out. It was just kind of cool. Because then after that, I was like, well, who is this person? And so I went, and she actually does a lot of like creative stuff. She's kind of a cool gal. So you never know what it is, what's going to happen. On the flip side, it could turn negative because you may accidentally go to someone who is not the best person, but at least you tried. That's the thing. You tried to reach out and try to show support to someone else, because whether or not they're part of our own community or not, they're doing that same grind. And even if you end up finding out that person's kind of not a good person, you're making that effort and you are being the good person. So
you're not. I think the biggest thing to remember too is with things like raids, things like carrying viewers over, things like shout outs, all that type of stuff. At the end of the day, it's it's like you're trying to network. You're trying to do your best. If you built that rapport with your viewers, even if you miss, you know what I mean? Even if you miss the mark, and you get someone that's at a BRB screen, or because there have been times that I didn't pre-load the stream before I went and rated them, and I come up and it's empty chair. Yeah, empty chair. Right? Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh well, shoot, or
Raid
Mars
Train
or
and
Mars.
host his stream's not even working.
Yeah, I'm dropping 70% frames for 13 minutes, and I got 10 viewers listening to me.
I was so excited to raid you. I was like, oh my god, this person's amazing. We're gonna go raid him. Clock.
It happens.
Yeah.
Have that sort of that mental that thing in the back of your mind that just says like, I didn't do it for that other person. I did it to try to be a good streamer and support small streamers. And whether they're in the community or not, we're out here trying to support small streamers.
Absolutely.
And if we're showing that support, we're going to grow the community. We're going to do our networking correctly. We're going to meet new people. We're going to meet people with viewers that want to come and hang out with us when they're not streaming. There's a plethora of benefits to doing these types of things that you should never feel negative about doing something. You know, you shouldn't put that on yourself where you're like, oh, well, I suck because I rated an empty chair or a dead stream or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I just want to take a second to say hi to Fluffy Butt. I have not seen that name before, so welcome to our stream.
Welcome to our random stream.
Everyone here is super cool. Another thing about what Harry Wizard said, before you raid them, if you're going into this completely in the dark, you could tell your chat that while it's clocking down. You could just say, hey guys, we're going to go raid this person. I've never seen their stream before. We're just going to go show some support. It might go well, it might go bad, but we're in this together kind of thing. And again, at least they have that precursor that you're not just going to send them over to something that you might find toxic. It's really just good communication goes a long way with other people as well as your viewers.
Baggy, you make a good point there too. Sorry, I just wanted to jump in here.
Oh, go ahead.
Hadn't talked for 5 minutes, so my head's gonna explode. And Baggy makes a really good point, is that you don't actually have to be streaming to raid someone else. You can raid because the raid actually functions in the chat channel itself. So, for example, Nerdy, let's say you're not even streaming, right? You could gather people in your say, hey, let's raid so-and-so. Have people gather in your stream, /raid the specific username, and you can still raid that person. You don't have to be live on Twitch to actually raid, which is something to keep in mind. So
that's really cool.
Yeah, you don't have to. It's more of a Twitch run thing than your stream run thing.
Right.
Another, again, two more things. One thing is how to act in voice chats with people that you know are streaming. If you see a streamer is streaming a game and they might be squatted up with something, but the squad might not be full or what have you, if they invite you in to hang out and chat with them, by all means, go into their voice chat and hang out. Because again, they've opened up that invitation. If they have not opened up that invitation, it might be wise to ask them before you join their voice chat, just because maybe that day they want to focus on their game. Maybe that day they want to focus with just their squad in a competitive game. It's not so much that they don't want to hang out with you or they don't want to talk with you, but I think just asking for permission to go into someone else's voice chat, or, you know, again, if you have that open invitation, great, by all means, go in there and hang out. But I think it's very important to always be mindful that you're going to be going into someone's voice chat that is streaming. So you have to be mindful of what you're saying, how much you're talking, because you don't want to talk over them or, you know, basically drown them out while they're talking to their own chat. But I would always ask for permission before you jump into someone's voice chat, because sometimes it's frustrating on the streamer side to have to say like, hey, I don't really want you in here right now.
Can you
because it also makes it a little bit awkward, especially if you're friends with the person, because I don't want to have to tell my friends like, go away. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's tell them to shut up either.
Yeah, it's but also like if you don't have that personality behind you to be able to tell someone to shut up, then it's just kind of awkward. And then you could that kind of awkward energy portrays on your stream and makes everything else kind of awkward. But go ahead, Eddie. I know you were saying something.
I was just gonna say, and the thing about that, and the other thing about if you randomly pop into a voice chat, without letting someone know, like for me, it's a distraction. It's like you'll be playing and you hear the doop. New phone, who this? You know, like I want to know, because I don't always have to I don't always want to have to alt tab over and scroll to see who popped in there. You know, because one, I want to be rude and not address whoever that is, and two, I want to know who the hell you are. So that can be really distracting if you're in the middle of a competitive game or whatever. When someone all of a sudden pops in, And I know we have a lot of people in Twitch crew that like to do that. Like, you like to hang out in voice chats, whatever the case may be. And like Mars said, if you've got permission to do that, that's fine. But at the same time, try to be mindful of the people playing the game or whatever, and don't just pop in there unannounced, because it can be a distraction, whether they're streaming or they're not. So that's it.
I think another big thing too is if you're going to hop into someone's voice chat and they're okay with it, be sure that you're also in their stream watching them. Because if they're doing a competitive game, don't talk during the round.
Yes.
Because that also will
Especially in
highly
performance.
distract them from what they're doing. So say like Siege.
Yeah.
Siege is very, very audio dependent.
Sage.
Triggered.
Triggered.
But it's very audio dependent. So if you're talking during the rounds and I can't hear someone running up behind me, that could be very frustrating to some people. Again, it's just also knowing that rapport with your fellow streamers, and you wouldn't do it to someone you didn't know. So just make sure that you have permission with someone that you do know. It's just a respect thing. You know, more than likely people will be very cordial about it. If they're not gonna be okay with it, they'll just be like, hey, we'll hang out later, but like not right now.
Yeah.
That's one thing I struggle with is I love playing video games with everybody, but when other people are talking and stuff like that, I cannot communicate with my chat while I have other people talking about a video game in my headphones. If I'm playing Siege and no slight on anybody here, I think it's a personal issue, honestly. When we're all playing Siege together, if I'm live, I have to deafen you guys. You know what I mean? Like it's just a thing. I have to deafen chat when I'm engaging my stream, and then I have to bring it back out. And I think that's just another respect thing. Like, I'm not going to talk to my chat over you guys playing the game as the stream. Even though we're playing together, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to mute myself. And it then creates, like, if you're not included in that group, that squad, whatever, like, and you're hanging out, now it's just another added element of, like, this person's just gonna be talking because they're trying to hang out, they're trying to be with their buddies, and it adds a whole nother, like, thing to think about while you're live. That's a difficult thing for me, like, to do and stream at the same time as being hanging out with a bunch of people.
I agree. And apologies if you were going to hit this point next, Mars. But I mean, I think that's when something to keep in mind is if you're streaming a multiplayer game and you're playing with other streamers, maybe have a push to mute going. I know the few times I stream Siege, if I'm playing with you guys, Mars Train, I know we squad up a lot. I will usually have a push to mute button for when I do need to talk to chat, because it can get distracting. Like, you're talking about an audio-based game, you're trying to make call-outs, you're trying to let people know, you're trying to communicate as a team, and you don't want to waste mental effort hearing someone say, "Hey, what's happening? Welcome to the stream." You know, it can be distracting. So that's just something to keep in mind. Me personally, I like to use one of my side mouse buttons to do push to mute. It's through Discord, because if I do a toggle mute, I'll forget, and then I'll be sitting there muted. So push to mute's a little bit easier. You can hold it, say what you got to say, and then go back to your game, and you don't distract your teammates either. So
and if you ever have an issue with your keybinds, like me, when I play Siege, for some reason my push to mute does not work, let the people that you're playing with know that ahead of time. Like, I always try to tell people, like, I'm sorry, I cannot figure out why it doesn't work. If you're not okay with this, like,
leave squad. Like, okay, looks like we're not.
Like
it's
just a respect thing, because, like, again, like, I don't want to distract you guys, just like you guys wouldn't want to distract me, but, like, I can't figure it out. So it's just like, just let people know. Again, it's just big respect thing. Just to go back to what Fuppy Butt was saying real quick, having a pre-made response to raids from streamers, that could certainly help, and will certainly be easier for people to engage in other people's chats during a raid. Just being like I know Rambo, I think it's like Rambo's army is here or something. For that, like, to have them to copy and paste into the raid, that also helps a lot. I have one more point. I think the biggest part of Twitch and etiquette and everything is self-promotion. If someone's streaming, I know personally, like, this is such a touchy subject with so many different people, and it's so subjective to the streamer. If someone's streaming and you're going to be in their stream, if you're going to leave to go do your own stream, you can simply just say, "Hey, I gotta go, gotta check out," or "I'm gonna go do my own thing," just whatever. But you don't have to straight up say, like, "I'm gonna go stream now. See you later," because
I'm gonna go stream now. Twitch TV /
Some people might take that. Some people might take that the wrong way, and you might really turn people off. Again, if the person's okay with it, then they're okay with it. But more than likely, they're not okay with it. I think another big thing is if you're going to go into someone's stream, don't talk about somebody else who's also currently streaming. I know that's happened a couple of times, and I think it's really disrespectful if you go into someone's stream and say, "Oh, hey, you're missing out on such and such while they're streaming," and then the person that you're viewing is actually losing viewers because of it. Yeah. And it's just very disrespectful to go into somebody else's stream and promote somebody else, even if it's not yourself. I think it's just a very touchy area of don't do anything promotion wise that you wouldn't want someone to do in your stream. Same thing with Discord. Don't promote in someone else's Discord if they don't have a self-promotion channel. Don't post your link because clearly they don't want your link in there. Their Discord's for them, so their rules have to be respected. I know another big thing that I've seen from a couple of like bigger name streamers, if they're currently streaming, don't post in their now live page, because again, it's the same exact thing as if you were going to their chat, like they're live, but it's like, oh hey, by the way, I'm also live. Yeah. I just find that very disrespectful on my level, at least. I don't know if you guys want to chime in on yours, like what you guys view for self-promotion and etiquette. Like
my personal rule, like even in other, like especially in other people's channels, if I didn't just do a raid where like people know, okay, hey, he was just streaming and he's now offline, I won't even like, I don't talk, like it's a personal, I don't talk about me being a streamer unless the question is asked. You know what I mean? Like that's the other great thing about Twitch. When I go into Twitch crew people's streams, we all know each other. So the advantage is that we all have like a respect for each other. We're going to ask like, hey, how's stream going? How's your channel going? Because we know that about each other. But it's really frustrating when someone comes in and the first thing they say is like, oh, I can't get my chat bot to work. Like even simple stuff like that. Like, oh, I can't get my bot to work.
Yes.
I can't get this to work. I can't do It's like,
I'm
okay,
sorry. Is this tech support?
It's
not. No.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. You're having issues or whatever. Please keep it out. Like just because we're all so positive and so supportive doesn't mean that we're not all trying to build our own unique individual channels and streams and build our own communities and build stuff like that. Like, and that's sometimes it's a hard separation to be like, no, I know this person on a, like, literally on a personal level, and we chat every single day in the Discord and we add each other and we DM and and then to go in their stream and then pull yourself out and be like, okay, but now I'm in their space, not our space, their space. And so that's sort of one mental check that I always make to myself when I'm in lurk mode or viewer mode, is to be a viewer, not to try to be another streamer hanging out in your stream.
And again, if you have to question it, DM them. They'll answer it on their own time. And being in the community, we have so many available outlets for support that you don't really need to ask them right then and there.
Right.
You know, there's so many other people that can help you. There's so many other people that would be able to answer your questions. And again, if you really just want to ask a specific person, their DMs are always open.
Always until they're blocking you. And at that point, you know exactly where you stand.
Yeah, you know exactly what you did.
You can whisper them. Like, it's fine.
If someone asks what you did that day, can you say that you streamed earlier or in your opinion? I think it depends on, again, that person's stream. If you're not live right then and there, some people might be okay with that, but you can simply just say, oh, I was playing this game. You don't really need to say that you're a streamer.
Because that might be a follow-up question. Oh, were you streaming? And then in that case, you can say, yes, I was. Thanks for asking.
But allow them to ask that on their end. I'm going to touch upon what Blood just said.
Time out.
I know Muse wanted to say something.
Waiting for 3 hours for her question.
No. Well, I had some stuff I wanted to add, but I actually have a little internal family emergency with one of the dogs right now, so I've got to go.
Okay.
I'll leave my little corgi up.
No problem.
But I love you all. Chat, you're amazing.
Yeah, let us know. Hopefully everything's okay. So.
Yeah, if you need anything, just ask.
Yeah. Will do. Thanks.
Okay.
Love you guys. Bye.
Go ahead.
See ya.
So touching upon what Blood was going to say, Blood was saying that he has a very strong feeling against unappreciated raids, and that is really starting to bug him. I think the best thing that you really can do in that situation is, again, this kind of touches back upon what we said earlier. At least you tried.
Yep.
It looks better on you than it will on them that at least you are showing the support. It's always going to be more negative on their character than it's going to be on yours. And there's nothing saying that you have to raid them again.
Yep.
It sucks. I know everyone here has probably at least rated one person that just either has no emotion, or maybe they're a new streamer and they don't even have that notification set up, so they don't even know. You know, I wouldn't take it so personally on you, but again, there's nothing to say that you have to raid them again. If you don't feel appreciated or can't see that, obviously, like maybe they don't have a chat, maybe they're so new that they really just don't know what they're doing. Again, we've all been there. But if you really feel unappreciated personally, you don't have to raid them again. And you don't have to promote them afterwards on Twitter saying like, "Oh, we showed the love over here." You don't have to do any of that.
Not obligated to do anything.
Real quick, I wanted to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No,
it's just this is something. It was a while back in chat, but Harry asked why push to mute instead of push to talk. Really, it's a preference. They kind of do the same thing. For me personally, I like, for a game like Siege, for example, there's a lot of talking, a lot of communication. So for me, it's easier. I'm talking less to my stream chat than I am to my teammates. So for me, it makes more sense to do push to mute, because push to mute, I address whatever the question was in chat, say hello, thanks for the raid, thanks for the bits, whatever, and then boom, I'm back talking to my team. I don't have to constantly hold a button for them to hear me, because in my head, it takes more mental effort to remember to hold the push to talk button than to hold the push to mute button. Now, once again, that's game specific. Depending on the game, maybe you do want to do push to talk because maybe you don't have to communicate with your teammates a lot. So in that case, maybe you want to do push to mute. Really, it's kind of a preference, but you know, that's in my head, that's kind of what it boils down to.
Yeah, like say you're doing Sea of Thieves or something, like you don't have to be like, oh, we're sailing on the water 24/7 to your team. You can have the push to talk there. Or some people like to toggle mute. I know for me, if I'm playing, I do the toggle mute just because like I'll forget to unmute myself and then I'll be talking to myself for 5 minutes.
Yeah, and that's
it's
why
really, it's really a personal preference.
Yeah, that's why I do the push to mute, because I will straight up forget, and it'll be an hour and someone in chat be like, "You're muted," and I'll be like, "Shit." So
I agree with Blood. When you host or raid someone, people Twitch crew or not, some people will be thank you so much and appreciate it, and some will say, "Oh, thank you." Again, there's nothing saying that you have to really raid them again. You tried.
Not only that, you got viewers that are there to see you. They like your personality. Your personality, they relate to your personality somewhat. If the streamer that you raid isn't reacting the way that like you're like you expect to, dude, it doesn't matter if it's a 3-man raid or 2,500 person raid. I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna be like, oh shit, welcome viewers. I got a little thing that I do. You know, how was their stream? Give me some critique. Like I have a little thing that I run through because that's who I am. Your viewers are gonna appreciate my reaction, and they're gonna be like, oh, dude, this guy's so cool. Look at how he's reacting to us coming into his channel and showing love. If someone's sitting there and you rate them and they go, oh, hey, thanks, I'm playing this game. Okay, I'm back to playing this game. Like all your viewers are going to be like, okay, who is that?
And they're going to leave.
Back out. And then they're going to back out. And it's going to go from a 20-person raid down to 3 viewers again. And then they're going to go, oh, what, you know, and then it becomes a whole different thing for that streamer. And your viewers are like, cool. I mean, we raided, we're out, we're done. You know, Blood, I'm just using you because you brought it up. Bloodhaven stream is over. This guy is not the same type of personality that I'm going to jive with. I'm going to hop on out.
Yeah.
Easy as that. I mean, simple as that.
And then real quick, I saw that here. Lady Edge, you asked, do you have to be a streamer to raid? And no, you do not. You just have to have a Twitch account. Because once you have a Twitch account, you will have a Twitch, you'll have a stream chat, and then you can use that to assemble raids however you want to. So it's kind of cool. You do not have to be a streamer to do that. So good question. Yeah. Almost snuck away. I didn't know if anyone already answered that, so I just wanted to take the time to answer it. So.
Yeah, so I think really honestly, long story short, because I feel like we've talked about this forever, and I'm sorry. But I think it's just
good subject. Great subject.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, I think it's show support if you want to get support back. Treat others how you want to be treated back. And if you're really unsure of anything, don't be afraid to ask. Just, you know, you're all smart people, you know, really just use your best judgment. Don't act in a way that you wouldn't respect on your level either. Just don't step on anybody's toes and just be a good person. Like it's just
golden rule.
It takes a lot more energy to be a terrible person, I think, you know, because you have to go out of your way to do it. You know, I think it's a lot easier to just be like, have a good day or have a good stream than to be like, oh, you're trash at a game. Don't put that negative energy on anybody else, and you don't have to stand up for it yourself either. You know, you're all great people. That's my end. The end. Thank you for listening.
Uh,
We're gonna go over to Trey now.
The more you know, Kid.
Yeah. So I'm gonna roll off that with another heavy subject. Over the last few weeks, so I'm gonna be talking about self-confidence. It's a big, huge subject. Like that applies to across all facets of life. I think as the resident hype man for Twitch Crew, I project a lot of self-confidence, and as such, I've been approached not only by streamers in the community, but friends, co-workers. It's come up a lot, especially like within the past, I would say month and a half, of people just coming up and asking me like, how are you so positive? Why are you so happy? And what can I do? What can I change? What can I do this? And so self-confidence to me is like just been something on my mind. I got invited to Crew Talk. They asked me what I wanted to speak for my subject, and I knew immediately it was going to be self-confidence. So like a little bit background. It's like I went through a real point in my life where I wouldn't, I don't have clinical depression. I don't have a chemical imbalance of the brain, but there was certainly like an 8-month, 2-year period of my life where it was a daily struggle to wake up in the morning, and going to bed was like, why am I doing this? Do you know what I mean? Type of thing. And like, so I've been through the depths of what I would consider like a life event causing a depression, causing my lack of self-confidence, bringing me down. And so like, I read the definition of self-confidence and it doesn't quite resonate with me. It's a feeling of trust in one's abilities, qualities, and judgment. And it's like, in my mind, it's so much more than that. Like, yes, self-confidence is like not giving a fuck when you make a decision because I made the decision, I'm cool. But that's like a total ego thing in my mind. So I kind of wanted to ask you guys actually, like, how would you define self-confidence first before I get into my spiel and everything like that? Mars, go ahead. Yeah, Mars.
I think for me personally, self-confidence is just honestly being okay with the person you are when you go to bed at night. That's going to make you want to wake up in the morning. I know just from myself, I've struggled with depression for a long time. I've never been diagnosed with it or anything, but I'm smart enough to know what it is. I've done my research, but it's just like, sure. if you're not okay with the person that you are when you go to sleep at night, you're not going to want to wake up in the morning. And it's also just like, you have to learn to accept the things that are just you. I think learning to accept the things that are just you and being willing to change the things that you want to fix and can fix is a big part of self-confidence, because you're confident enough to know that you are just going to be the person that you are, whatever you can't fix, you're confident that is okay with you. Being okay with yourself is also self-confidence, but also being okay with fixing the things that you can change, I think, is also a big part of self-confidence as well, because you have to be confident enough to know that you're not perfect. Right. So I think for me, that's just being okay with who you are at night and still being okay when you wake up in the morning. Mm-hmm. It's not easy. Not easy.
Not even a little bit. Yeah. Not even a little bit.
And for me, I think self-confidence, it's kind of hard to define, but it's for me, it's more, and this kind of piggybacks off what you said, Mars, but it's more about who you are when people aren't around more than who you are in front of people, right? Because you can be one person in front of everyone else, but if you're a completely different person behind closed doors, then what does it matter? You know what I mean? For me, self-confidence is something you exude. It's something that when you step into a room or you step into whatever, people can feel your self-confidence without you having to stick out your chest and be like, oh, hey, I'm here. I'm self-confident. I'm this, I'm that. Because to me, anyone who has to talk about how self-confident they are, that immediately tells me that you're not self-confident, that you're actually the opposite of that. You are actually super... I don't even know what the word would be for the opposite of self-confidence, but you're super fragile inside, and you're projecting that because behind closed doors, in your own heart, in your own mind, you know that you're not. So, and it's different for everybody. Like for me, like, to quote T.I., I get it from my dad. You know, my dad's the same way. My dad walks into a room, he exudes that confidence, he exudes that positivity, and people respond to him. He doesn't have to say a single word. And I think that applies to me. That can apply to a lot of people. For me, it's just kind of how you carry yourself. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And
this is exactly what I wanted to ask the question, is that Mars just said it's all about how you view yourself on the inside. Eddie's definition was a lot more along the lines of like, it's being okay with being that person when you walk in a room and not having to say anything about it. And other people being like, okay, I don't have to like question who that personality, because he's confident in his personality. And it's like, it's such a broad spectrum. It's such an elusive concept of self-confidence, because some people have self-confidence, but they're dicks about it. And some people have self-confidence, they're super humble about it. And there's no right or wrong way to be self-confident, right? It's just a thing. So that was like just really what I want to highlight with that question. And it's such a delicate subject. Like, people don't want to talk about self-confidence because it ultimately brings up the conversation of lack of self-confidence, right? We all have, and it's so silly to me to not be able to talk about like where you're lacking in self-confidence, because the only way to like address an issue within yourself or anywhere in any facet of life is to be like, you know what, I don't like that. And then be like, oh, easy. That's what I need to change about that's what I need to change about that. And if it's, and it becomes this sort of unpacking of like, okay, do I really not like that my hair falls to the left rather than falling to the right? No, I don't give a fuck about that. I don't like, something else about it. And then you get down deeper and you start to figure these things out. It takes a lot of time in between the ears, right?
Yeah. Yep.
In your own mental space, which is like the scariest place to be, in between your own ears.
Right.
But it takes a lot of attention and focus to get there. And I think one thing that is never talked about when you are talking about self-confidence is how to develop it. And one thing for me, when I finally sort of washed away my sadness, it was, my depression was pure sadness, like just so debilitating, I can't even describe. When I finally got rid of that and I was like, you know what, no, I'm not a sad person. It was months and months into learned behavior of me waking up every day and being like, damn, life sucks. And then be like, no, life doesn't suck. And responding to that first thought. And what a lot of people don't do is they have that first negative thought and they latch onto that and they go, oh shit, that's the thought that I'm having. My brain is messed up because I'm having a negative thought, because I didn't, how am I supposed to have positive thoughts when I'm having negative thoughts? Well, it's like you react to those thoughts. It's crazy to think about, but your mind is controlled by, you control your mind. It's part of you. It's just because you have a random thought doesn't mean you have to give that thought any power, any emotion, anything. It's just a thought. It's an electrical firing of the brain. It's a science thing, and you can counter that science with more science and have a positive thought about it and say, oh shit, no, this doesn't suck. It's great. No, I didn't do this wrong. I could have done better at it. I could be, I can do this. I can improve this. I can get better at this. One phrase that I wrote down is perpetual optimism. And it's something I always keep on the back of my mind. It's a background on my phone. And it's, let me get both definitions here. Perpetual is never ending or changing. Second definition, occurring repeatedly, so frequent as to seem endless and uninterrupted. Right? Optimism, hopefulness, confidence about the future, the successful outcome of something. When you put those two phrases together, it's an undying hopefulness or confidence that you're gonna be successful at the end of whatever you choose, right? You hear every successful person on planet Earth tell you that there's ups and downs, there's road bumps, there's speed bumps, But when it comes to your own life, you hit one of those speed bumps and negative thoughts start firing. Oh shit, it's me, it's this, it's that. I should have done this, I should be this, I should be playing this, I should be doing this, especially in streaming. It's so difficult because we're inundated with the ninjas of the world and the lupos of the world and the disrespectfuls of the world. Crazy numbers that I found. There's 2.2 million unique broadcasters on Twitch monthly.
Wow.
Monthly. Okay. Out of those 2.2 million unique streamers, 160,000 of them are affiliate. That's sub 10% are affiliate.
Wow.
30K of those are streamers. That's sub 2% of streamers are partnered. Sorry, partnered. if you're beating yourself up about not having 75 viewers, you're beating yourself up about not hitting those milestones right away. Like, it's an impossible hill to climb. You're looking at people making 500K a month in revenue, like Ninja, or 100K a month in revenue. You're like, oh, I'm funny. I'm pretty good at the game. I'm this and that and that. They all had, and we don't stay our lane. That's another thing that I had trouble with early on. I was like, man, I'm pretty funny. I'm cool, whatever. And then I got in and I was like, boom, immediately slapped with 1 viewer a day, for a month. And it's like, dude, oh my God, who am I? Like, oh, maybe I'm not cut out for this. I'm never going to get there. And then I realized, like, I'm not here to have 1 million viewers. I'm not here to make that kind of, I'm literally here to play games and meet new people. Mm-hmm. And if I always bring my stream back to that when I'm feeling down or I'm feeling bummed or my chat is dead or, and it happens to all of us. None of us are exempt from the 3 viewer, pitfall of me, my bot, and my 1 mod lurker. If we keep putting it back on ourselves in a negative light, rather than being like, at least I'm doing it, at least I'm out here doing it, and I have affiliate status, like, that's pretty freaking sweet. Like, you never put a positive spin on it, you're never gonna get out of that hole. You're never going to build self-confidence. Like I was saying earlier, the developing of it's a learned behavior. It's literally waking up and every time you have a negative thought, responding to the negative thought with a positive thought. And eventually you just stop, or the negative thoughts slow down. You know what I mean? I have negative thoughts all the time. And when I respond positively, all of a sudden that thought is gone for the rest of the day. I think that's a huge thing that people don't realize that needs to happen when they're having those negative emotions, is they kind of wallow in that negativity without ever doing anything positive about it mentally. I mean, it's literally mental. It's all mental. So
I think
self-confidence.
Also, another big thing that can really aid with self-confidence is learning to just accept the fact that there's going to be negative things that happened. It's anything in the world is balanced by something else. You can't have positivity within yourself without all of that negativity as well. We are literally all our own worst critics. You can't, otherwise there would be no such thing as positivity. You would just be you. Again, like you said, it's a learned behavior. You're not born into this world hating yourself. We're born into this world just the way that you are, and you're gonna get all of that self-hatred from comparing yourself to others, from comparing yourself to altered pictures, from comparing yourself to things that you don't have or that you do have. Just being able to recognize that there are negative things about you, but that doesn't make you a terrible person. That doesn't make you any less than you are. We all have negativity. Like people call me the Queen of Darkness, for God's sakes. Like,
it's how do you respond to it? How do you respond to it? It's like all of a sudden
I embrace it.
Exactly.
You guys know I don't even wear a bright color. My entire wardrobe is fucking black.
Yeah.
Like it's just who I am. But like, you guys also know that, like, if you guys know that I can be super freaking positive as well. I think it also comes to the point of, I'm just self-negative, but it's just like, it comes to the point of surrounding yourself with positive people too. You might have the worst self-confidence in the world, but I guarantee you, if you surround yourself with more positive people, it's going to inspire you to act more positively.
It certainly helps.
I know when I was like probably in like the darkest period of my life, I took the time to find the people in my life that made me happy, that made me want to be happy, and I got rid of the rest. I don't talk to them. They are a figment of my imagination. They don't even exist in my mind, because I took the time to realize who was making me grow towards being a better person and who was keeping me in that dark shell that I was in. So I think also surrounding yourself with positive people, even if they're not even self-positive, just positive in general, you guys could just help out each other. It's, again, the whole point of being part of a community is supporting one another. And if you surround yourself with positivity, you're going to just think more positively. It's a chemical thing in your brain. Yep. It's just what you choose to surround yourself with.
It's literally science. I mean, it's
science.
It's science. You're gonna fire random thoughts. I don't know the number, but you have like 22,000 or something like that individual thoughts in a day. You can't control that. There's gonna be thoughts that you don't have power over that enter into your mind space, that then you have to be like, okay, don't want to have that thought. I need to have a positive thought about that negative thing. And it's not easy to do. It literally takes work. It literally takes a conscious effort. And it's something that like a lot of people tend to shy away from, and then they don't know why they're down, and they don't know why they're beat up, and it's just like because you first of all, you don't even address the negative feelings, but then when you do, you don't address them in a positive way, and it's like it's so hard, but very doable for everybody. I don't know a single person. The other thing too, like when you're projecting positivity, this is another hard thing to get past. When you're projecting positivity and someone's not responding to it, they're choosing to be negative. They're choosing to like try to bring that, not try, but like they're bringing down your positive emotion by just not being counter positive. It goes back to the rating thing. Like you don't ever have to address that person again. Like you are a mod. You're a mod in your own life. You're a mod in your own interactions. You're a mod in who you choose to engage and who you choose to associate yourself with and where you choose to put your effort. And it always hurts. It always hurts when you try to put effort towards something that you see somebody down and you're like, hey, just want to make you smile, want to cheer you up a little bit. And they're like, oh, I'm not ready to be cheered up yet because I'm still thinking about it. I'm still in the negative spot of it. Be okay with it. Like you have to be okay with it. You didn't reach out for like you reached out for their benefit, but it's also for you to know that like, hey, I was a good person. I did what I could. I made the positive effort. I made the effort. I can do nothing else. Like I can't empower that person's negativity anymore. And at some point you gotta be okay with cutting that type of relationship off as well.
Absolutely. And I think you can't be afraid to ask people to be obviously, like I said, you have to surround yourself with supportive people and positive people. If you have those people around that are supportive and positive, if you're having a bad day, love yourself enough to ask somebody to cheer you up. You know, if they don't want to respond to you, then again, do you really need them around? I know if I'm having a bad day, I go to Slicehaven, I go to Eddie, I go to the people that I surround myself with, and I'm like, look, I'm having a crappy day. Send me shitty Rainbow Six memes. Like anything to put a smile on my face. Because that's, again, if you're smiling for even just 5 minutes during the day, that's 5 minutes that you're not being negative.
Absolutely.
That's enough for me.
And it's a start.
You can't be afraid to reach out to people. You really can't, because they're there for you for a reason. And again, if they don't want to be there for you, you don't need them in your life. And again, self-confidence enough to know the difference between what you need, what you want, and always choosing what you need.
Yeah.
It's not easy. It's not easy. It's a work in progress. You're going to be a work in progress your entire
life. And if you ever settle at some point where you're like, you know, I'm really happy with who I am right now. In 2 months, you're going to be like, I haven't grown in 2 months. Nothing's changed in 2 months. What is going on? And once you like make yourself aware of yourself, I think a lot of people, just because we're inundated with like so many outward or outside of ourselves, like stimulation, you know, games, TV, whatever it is. It could be any work, articles, whatever, you name it, anything outside of ourselves. There is this like huge disconnect of sitting down alone in your own space and just thinking. And a lot of people don't do it. And I think it's a super important thing to do, is to be able to step outside of yourself and take a mental note of like who I am, where I'm at. Do I really, you know, I'm not making the money that I want to make. Does that negatively impact my view on myself? Or does that mean that I need to then find that road to
do you use it as fuel?
That? Exactly. Yep. And that's a big part of self-confidence as well, being able to take that mental.
And I think, and first of all, there's been so many good points in chat right now. You guys are amazing. I can't like address all of them individually, but you guys are kind of having like your own conversation right now. And you guys are amazing.
I'm reading them, yeah.
I mean, I'm reading them as you guys are talking. Absolutely amazing. Some great advice, some great points here. And just rolling back a little bit, Luch, I mean, I don't know the details of this family divorce thing you're talking about, man, but like, I know what you're going through. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to kind of feel like whatever your sense of self was is all of a sudden gone and shattered because you defined yourself this way before, and then what X event happened, and you're left to pick up the pieces, right? And just remember that you always have that self-worth. Someone's always going to care about you for the person that you are, and who you were before that, and who you are after that. You get to determine what that is. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Absolutely. And another thing to keep in mind too, and I know we all probably have that friend that you see on social media, right? They always looks like they have the perfect life, right? The picture's always at the right angle. They might have the great job. They might have the good looks. It could be they have a beautiful husband or wife. They've got 2.5 kids and a white picket fence and a beautiful house. Looks like everything's perfect. Keep in mind that everybody has something in their life that they're not happy about. And what you see on social media are people presenting their best selves how you want to see it. That is not what everyone's life is like. I guarantee you that person that you see on social media, they've got something that they toss and turn about at night. They have something that keeps them up. They have something that they're insecure about. And just keep in mind that everyone is like that, you know. And I think in this day and age of social media and Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and whatever, everyone seems like they're living their best life. And you know what? You should be trying to live your best life. But just keep in mind that those people you see on social media, they're presenting the bits of their life they want you to see. No one's gonna put, and there are people that put their negative stuff on Facebook, probably too much, but just keep in mind that those people that you see on social media, those people that might be in your life that seems like they have everything, they don't. And it's that simple.
They don't.
They just don't.
They don't.
Don't compare yourself to someone's highlight reel.
Yeah. Social media was literally made to be a highlight reel, just like Sparks said. It's meant to be that place where you can put the best parts of yourself for people to see, and I don't think it was ever meant. I don't think it was ever meant for that necessarily. But that's what it's become.
That's what us as people do. We compare ourselves, and we want to show the best parts of ourselves.
We want to, and we want to do that comparison. It's so hard. Like I said, with all the different, it's so hard to pull yourself back and be like, I don't need to compare myself to these people. I got friends making way more money than me. I got friends living in their own place. I got friends that are getting married and having a kid and doing this and out of the military. I got friends that are doing way cooler things than I am. Right. And it's perfectly okay if you're not that type of person to go and support everybody. You're gonna it's gonna be hard to see somebody else succeed and be okay with it and be truly okay with it.
Absolutely. You have to be okay with who you are when nobody else is around.
Yeah,
because you're the only person who's going to be with you from the moment you wake up in this world to the moment you die. 24/7, you are stuck with yourself. So you might as well put the effort into liking yourself.
And if you don't know why you don't like yourself, I would strongly encourage you to turn everything off and sit down by yourself and spend as much time as it takes. And it might take months, because I know from experience, it may take months of you sitting alone in a basement, fucking thinking and thinking and thinking.
Yeah.
And then being like, oh shit, I've done all this thinking about all the negative things in my life, and none of them truly apply to how I view myself. And when you can do that, I don't really care that I'm not doing these things. I don't really care that I did this or didn't do that. I'm still a good person. I still love my family. I still love my friends. I still get to support all these incredible people on Twitch and make these beautiful connections with people that I never would have known outside of this community or outside of the internet or whatever. That's super fucking cool. That's so cool. And then start getting positive about that stuff, because if you're in the chat right now, if you're in the view right now, I already know that you have a support system that's bigger than a lot of people on planet Earth's support system. If you're not happy about that and you're not feeling positive about that, I don't know how to make you positive, or I don't know where the starting point is, because there's so many people around you that want you to succeed right now.
Right.
And something Hoenma just said, what if you are already alone? I can guarantee you're not as alone as you think you are.
Yeah.
You might actually be, but most of the time when we think we're alone, it's because we think we are. We're not actually alone. We might be pushing away every single person and calling that loneliness, but in reality, I'm the one pushing them away. And I've done that before. I've done that where a whole year of my life was just crap upon crap upon crap, and I pushed away literally every single person that even tried to say hi to me. I put that loneliness on myself. I cannot control the things that happen to me. I can only control how I react to them. And I reacted in the poorest way possible. And guess what? When I got out of my own head, I was like, shit, I had all these people that were willing to help me, and all I told them was no. That was on me. That was a self-confidence issue with me, because one, I did not think I was worthy of help. I did not think that I was worthy of their confidence in me. I didn't think that I was worthy of really breathing the air of the earth. Again, that was all on me, because I was stuck in my own head. But I wasn't actually ever alone through that entire thing. All I needed to do was reach out and say something. So you might feel alone. I can guarantee you, just you being in this chat right now, you have all of these people here that are willing to help you. And I know this, like some people might think this is really cheesy. They might think this entire conversation is very kumbaya-ish, whatever. It's just, this is an important topic, you know, and whether we talk about it on stream, whether we talk about it off stream, like I can guarantee you are not alone on this planet. And if you really think you are, go do something that you have never done before and you will surprise yourself.
Seriously.
Just
literally.
It's a big thing.
And
Again, this is not easy.
Is when people are reaching out, if you're in that mental space of like, of not being receptive of the help that you're getting, like that's it. Like you said, Mars, it's a self-confidence thing within myself. And you got to understand that people, when they're reaching out, they're trying to help, they're trying to give advice, or they're trying to offer that stuff. Like that's an energy expenditure on that person. And like I said earlier, like if you're making those efforts and it's not getting through to that person, like as your own we're all individuals, right? We're all individuals that are in it together. And I think that's something important to you always got to, I'm of the mindset that you always have to take it back on yourself, right? Like, did I listen to that person correctly? Did I take that advice? Did I take that advice? Did I apply that advice? Did I reach out to all of my connections? Have I exasperated all resources that I can get to? Because I guarantee you that before you hit the end of that, like Mars is saying, before you hit the end of that list of I've exasperated every resource that I could reach out to, like if you hit the bottom of that list, then you're truly alone. But you have resources out there that you're not willing to hit up right now because of X, Y, and Z. And that's the resource that's going to open your eyes up to something. That's the resource. That's the person. That's the relationship that's going to make you like step back and be like, oh shit. Oh, that's the viewpoint I didn't get before. And that's what I wanted to do. But you didn't reach out to that person because you're like, I'm sad.
And it might be a pride thing too. Like I know a lot of the times, like I either don't want to reach out to someone because I think that I should be either smarter than I am to feel this way, or I think that I should be smarter to be able to handle it on my own, or, you know, I don't want to be a burden on someone. It could be a self-pride thing where it's just like, you know, Mars, you know, you shouldn't do this, but you're just going to do it anyway because that's just who you are. Pride isn't self-confidence. You could be proud in your abilities, but you're not using them effectively. You know, a part of self-confidence is also knowing when you can't do something on your own and being confident enough in yourself to know that. You know, you don't always have to be confident in the things that you can do, but you also need to be confident in the things that you can't do. It's just, again, you got to accept everything about yourself. You have to learn how to accept it. That's just how it is.
Absolutely. You're
stuck with yourself. Again, might as well try to like yourself.
I mean, do your best. Yeah. And if there's things that you don't like, it's because it doesn't sit. The other thing too is define your own moral compass. You know what I mean? Like, know what decisions when you're sitting down to make a decision, and it's a big decision, especially, like be able to again pull yourself out of the decision as a person and be like, yo, if I make this decision, does it sit well with me?
Yeah.
If I make the other decision, does it sit well with me? Like how, like where, like, because that consequence. Another thing a lot of people don't do is they don't look past that decision to the consequences of it or who it'll affect, and then they make a decision and they go, "Oh my God, I affected all these other people and I didn't even realize it." Well, it's like, yeah, because you didn't take the 5 minutes that it took to sit down, and 5 minutes isn't a long time. Ask someone if someone's asking you to make a decision on the spot and they don't give you a minute to think about it, or 2 minutes to think about it, or 5 minutes to think about it. Like, don't make a decision. Don't make it be like, I'm not going to do it because I'm not comfortable, because I don't know who I'm going to affect in the long run. And it's something that is, again, learned. It's very hard. It's been ingrained in me. That is something that was ingrained in me since childhood. I had strict parents. They were like, you need to realize who you're not just affecting your teacher, you're affecting her students and the rest of the, you're affecting that kid, his family, you're affecting this person. And so it's ingrained in me, but like, it's something that I continually have to do when I'm making a decision, is sit back and go, okay, this is going to affect this person directly and indirectly affect this person, this person, this person, this. And if I'm not okay with affecting those other people, then I'm not going to do it. Then I'm not going to go down that path. It's a different decision at that point. Your mind space is scary. Being in between the ears is terrifying. It's not always happy. It's not always, sunshine and rainbows. But you're never going to get to that.
You also have to learn to be okay with that too.
Exactly.
If you're having a bad day, let yourself have a bad day.
It's true.
I was having this conversation with Eddie the other day, and I know I've talked about it with Eisen and stuff too. Like, I pretend to be okay 99% of the time because I don't want to put that on anybody else. But if I'm having a bad day, there's nothing wrong with having a bad day. Like if you're not okay, you're just not okay. You know, and it's going to take more energy and actually be more daunting on yourself to pretend that you're okay for other people than just loving yourself enough to have a bad day. Yeah. Be angry, be grumpy, go take a nap.
And I think another thing, especially in this day and age, where there's so much, like you were saying, Train, there's so much outside stimuli, right? And there's social media, it's impulse society right now. Like I find it's very helpful, and this isn't tied to any sort of religious whatever or anything like that. I just find it very helpful to at least once a day, if I can, take 15 minutes to myself, no earbuds, no music, and I just sit with my eyes closed, right? Mm-hmm. You just sit. You feel the breeze on your face, listen to the trees rustle, and just realize that you are here. You are in the now, and you control your decisions. You were put here for a reason, right? And you might not necessarily know what the reason is yesterday or tomorrow, but it's for a reason, right? Mm-hmm. And thousands of years ago, before we had any of these distractions, right, your only priorities in life were what are my next meal going to be and how I'm going to keep that saber-toothed tiger from biting my butt, right? Those are like your two things.
Killing
right?
my family.
Yeah, exactly. And we've gotten really far from that as society has developed, but at that core, we're still that base person. So it's really, I think it's very useful to close your eyes and literally just empty your head of thoughts. And at first, you're going to have all the thoughts because that's how our brain works. You're going to be like, this is stupid. This isn't working. I'm doing this. Eddie gave me horrible advice. He's an idiot. But keep doing it, and it's going to work. And when you open your eyes, you will have a sense of peace about yourself that it's very hard to describe. It's very hard to describe. So
I'll say what really started me getting out of my depression was one day I woke up and I was driving into my shitty-ass part-time job at Home Depot, and I was lucky enough that my drive-in every morning was facing the mountains, and I'd been working it for like 2 months, 2.5 months, something like that. And I've lived in Colorado my whole life, right? I never appreciated the mountains the way that I appreciate them now. I looked out and I was like, holy shit, the mountains are amazing. And then I made the mental connection, like, dude, in Colorado, the mountains take up my entire peripherals. And that thought, like, other places have a mountain or a thing. Just thought of seeing the mountains every day was like, dude, I want to make this drive every day just to see the mountains and how big they are. And it's something simple as that, as getting back to like just being appreciative of what is around you. And there's so many times in life that we're on this tunnel vision. I'm going to work, I'm going home, I'm going to set up stream, I'm going to play games, that you don't widen your view and look and be like, oh my God, look at how amazing human architecture is and human engineering is to build these giant freaking cities. And look at how amazing the mountains are. And look at that interaction happening between people. That's one thing I've learned to love. It's like, I don't love it. I love everybody, but like, I don't give everybody my attention and my energy. But when I see cool human interactions going on, I'm like, oh man, there's other people getting excited about life right now. Yeah. And that's something that I take power in. And I'm like, okay, that helps me feel better to know that life is going on around me. How cool is that? So you got to find your little nuggets of like happiness as you're going along, and all of a sudden it becomes momentumous. Like you carry yourself through, and it's for me at least, it was very powerful to just kind of like start making that effort and take that conscious step of like, yes, I'm sad and I need to figure out how to get out of my sadness. Because it was a debility, we all have those emotions. All of us have those emotions.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You're more alike with other people than you really think you are.
Yep.
You don't have to have the same interests, but y'all feel the same way. Y'all have sadness, y'all have anger, y'all have happiness in some fashion or another. You're not that much different than anybody else.
And all those emotions are very, very valid, and they're telling you something that you need to think about and address.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Powerful subject, guys. Unpacked a lot here. Just want to end with this quote real quick.
You're all amazing.
This quote here: yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. Master Uber from Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah. Thank you. I saw that movie actually for once.
Such a good quote, though. Such a good quote. Such a good quote. So,
guys, I will say to anyone in chat, like, if you guys are, we're all mods here. We all have taken it upon ourselves to kind of be champions of Twitch crew and sort of the community and building that sort of vibe. Mars freaking holding it up. If you do want to reach out and like talk, we're always going to be there to respond and offer some sort of lean on me type of vibe. Like, go ahead and put that emotion out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also in the same breath, like if we're not responding right away, if we're not, if we don't get back to you immediately, if we're not those types of things, like we're human. We're doing our best out here. There's 550 of you, and I think 6-7 total leaders, mods, admins. We want to help you in any way that we can, emotionally, on your stream, technically with the stream. We want to be those people for you. So don't be afraid to just be like, hey, I'm confused about something. Also, on the same breath, like I said, don't necessarily abuse that if we're not getting back to you immediately and addressing everything. It's tough.
Absolutely. Well, awesome, guys. That was a great show. Awesome, great subject.
Good talk, guys.
Everyone had some great points. It's that was cathartic. It was very cathartic. So
I loved watching chat blow up just now, and just like everyone having their inner communication.
Yeah, it's great, man. It's an amazing thing we got going on right here. So all right, so I'm going to end with a couple announcements, and then we'll open up to QA if anyone's got anything. Don't have much in the way of announcements. We had the Fortnite tournament last night. The winners were Grain Games, who was Ancient Bread, and the Gaming Jock. If you guys didn't watch the tournament, it was a hell of a tournament. They actually were faced up against Tater Donuts, which was the toy that was Prismac and Noise, actually some of the best Fortnite players here in our tournament. They actually came from a 6-0 deficit. They actually had no kills the first game and got 7 the second game to not only beat Tater Donuts, but to go through the tournament and end up winning it all.
And dethroned the champion.
Yeah, every game was close.
Buddy.
Literally, I don't think any of the matches were more than 2 kills apart. It was a lot of fun to watch. So once again, congrats to Grain Games. You are our champions.
Good job, guys.
Round of applause. Our next tournament will be what, Mars? I'm putting it on
I'm pretty sure it's going to be Rocket League, and I don't think we're having this one this coming Friday, but it's actually going to be the following Friday. I'm going to post all of the stuffs. Yeah, I got you.
Post the deets.
Guys.
Posting the deets. Cool. And just one last thing, we're doing community movie night tomorrow night. I'm moving it to Sunday night to see if it works out better for some people. If you can join, we'd love to have you. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are watching The Shining.
They are a blast.
Confirmed.
It'll
be a lot of fun.
Confirmed.
Yeah. I mean, and if you haven't done it, we use the Rabbit Room. We don't talk during the movie, but we have our cams on, and if you're not familiar with Rabbit, essentially you get to stream a video source and you get to chat on the side. It's a lot of fun, a lot of jokes, a lot of cracking up, a lot of camaraderie. It's a really cool way to hang out with some Twitch crew people and kind of get that virtual couch feeling. So,
and you can actually talk during the movie
without distracting during the movie. Yes,
which is
it's perfect.
Fantastic.
It was made for someone like me who always talks during movies. It's perfect.
Yes,
it's perfect.
So
so with that, that's all I got for announcements. If you guys got anything in chat, any questions or anything you wanted to add before we go ahead and wrap up, now would be the time.
Can join for a movie night. Woo!
Oh, awesome, dude. Sweet. No closing for you.
So never seeing a movie with Eddie? Yeah, no, he won't stop talking.
Not IRL. I still count if I'm participating. Does it still count?
If you're gonna
and no one will turn their mic on in the middle.
I will let you participate in horror movies in like an existential meaning.
Rachel, okay, first of all, we would both be talking during the movies. Let's be honest. Both you and I would be, especially if it's a Marvel movie, so...
Oh yeah, I'm slot.
Let's be honest.
The only time I do stop talking, get out of here. Get out of here. I don't think I'd ever see a movie in person with you either, because it would be nuts.
And actually, I'm backtracking all the way because I don't think we actually addressed it. I made a mental note of this. Slot, you had the question. How do you handle people in stream asking to play with you? What's a good way to handle that?
Oh, sorry.
Be they followers or unfollowers.
I knew that was there and I forgot.
No problem. Like I said, I made a mental note of it because I thought it was a really good question. I really want to come back with it. I know some people in this chat have dealt with that personally. I know I have. Personally, and obviously I want to get all your guys' opinions on this. If I get someone that comes to say, oh, can I play with you? I usually just say, not now. I'm just kind of playing by myself tonight. Just kind of messing around. Maybe some other time. That's kind of just a nice honestly just a nice way to blow people off, and honestly that works 90% of the time. Some people, I know Joker Lover has a rule. She only plays with subs. That's something she says sometimes. Everyone kind of has a different method or whatever. There's not necessarily a right and a wrong way to do it. Guys, you want to chime in on this? Usually,
I play with pretty much anybody who wants to, just because like if they're a troll, I can easily get rid of them. Because I'm not like some big ass streamer. I can easily just ban them.
And I'm the same way. You know, you guys know me. I'm a pretty laid back, easygoing guy. There's been the couple times it has happened, random people have come in asking to play, and I know last time it was with Siege, and they ended up being a pretty cool person, you know, and they were really good at Siege, and they carried me for like 2 hours. So
that's how Crazer got into the community.
That's how we found Crazer.
Yeah, that's how we found Crazer. I mean, there's a lot of great people to be found him. A lot of people. I'm of the mindset that like there are times that I don't want to play with people, that I'd rather stream solo. It's just it's my mental thing, and it's totally fine. Yeah. If someone comes into my stream and asks, I have to be comfortable to understand that it's my stream, and I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm not. You just gotta man up and do it. There's some things in life that the quickest way from point A to point B is an awkward conversation. Have that awkward conversation. Just get there and be like,
with it,
you don't.
Them.
Yeah.
Like,
screw you.
Bye, Felicia.
You're gonna make it.
Also, Honey Sharks, welcome to our stream. I have never seen your name before, and I just wanted to say hi.
Hey, Honey
Rambo,
Sharks.
good point there. You have a system where only regulars, viewers have been in the channel for a week or so. Sub streamers, I know, and mods. That's a good rule. That's a nice, good rule of thumb to have too. So, you know, if you got someone who's a repeated viewer, obviously they like what they see. But at the same time, you know, if you get weird vibes from that person, if you feel a little uncomfortable, if they make you anxious or you get anxiety from it, don't feel like you have to. You know, just sometimes it's simple. Not tonight. Yeah.
Then you could just time them out and be like, hey, if you're going to keep persisting, then I'll just ban you, because they're just, if they're going to be that persistent over playing a game with you, they're probably going to be persistent about other things that you're probably not going to be okay with.
Yeah.
You also have to realize that there are some people on Twitch that are probably just teenagers that probably don't really have that many people to play with. Again, this really just ties into the etiquette. Be as respectful as you can until you don't need to be anymore. Always approach it in the best way you can think possible. If it's not working, you can step up your spice a little bit, and if it's not working, like a 3-strike system, if it's not working by the 3rd time, just get rid of them.
We're all gonna have a personal respect, patience bubble. We're all gonna have that bubble that, like, you're gonna ask me once, I'm gonna pop off. You're gonna say the one wrong thing, and I'm gonna pop off. There's certain things that I lose my mind about and there's other things that, like, I'll write out for a day and a half. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter because it doesn't bother me. So it's all very personal.
And I see there, Slot, you said, what about if you say, hey, I only play with people who are regular viewers, but they persist and ask on and off stream? That's when it's probably time to have an awkward conversation. Like, hey, I realize you want to play with me. When I'm ready to play with you, I will let you know. Boom, done. Right? And if they keep insisting after that, obviously they're not respecting your space, they're not respecting your words, and that's probably like a timeout or a block, or just, you know, do whatever steps you have to take to, get rid of that person or keep them from messaging you. So, I mean, you have every right to do that, you know, so don't feel like you don't. So, yeah,
at the end of the day, it is your stream. You have to protect yourself.
Yep.
And put yourself first a little bit over other people. Sometimes this is, again, some people are doing this to be full time. Some people are doing this just to have fun and be part-time. But this is still considered a business. I think you can still have fun with it as much as you want, but at the end of the day, it's your personal business, your brand, you as a person. So don't feel bad about, you know, protecting that at all.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we're talking about Red Rocks there in the chat, so I think we've got the question answer portion wrapped up here. So I think we'll go ahead and we'll wrap up the stream here. I think usually what we like to do, we like to end this usually with the raid. I don't have Discord chat up. I don't know if you guys have been discussing this. If you got someone in mind.
No, we have not. But I can pull it up.
I'm sure Slot's all over it, though.
I have a good idea, because this is a new person who's been relatively active. We are going to go raid OMG Cristiano.
Cool.
Just because I feel like he's been a new person. He's been super active in chat. He's been popping in other people's chats and has been, you know, dropping follows like mad.
He's been in recruit chat a lot. Yep.
Yeah, the recruit chat a lot. I think he'd be a great person to go raid, and I think he'd be, you know, a pretty hyped person. So let's drop all of the emotes that you possibly have. Again, thank you, Train, for joining us. I know you don't normally jump on here, but
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I really
phenomenal.
appreciate it. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Again, if you guys are ever interested in hosting with us or being on the crew chat, just reach out and, you know, we're pretty open to it. So just reach out, talk to us. We'll try and, you know, get you people on
Love you too, Rambo. Love you too, man. All right, so lady behind the curtain, Rachel, if you could orchestrate that raid, if you can hear us. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Let's go, Cristiano.
So once again, guys, this was Crew Talk for August 4th. I'm Eddie Nines. She's Mars Essalon. He's the Train. This has been a Twitch Crew production. Have a good night.
And Muse is
back. Yes, we got
Muse. And she's Muse Show.
Yeah. And she is Muse Show.
Backwards, I think.
Yeah, but all of you guys have a phenomenal night and get those emotes ready.
That's right. Love you guys. See ya.